Welcome back, True Seeker. April 30th, 2023. Today, the Church of Satan turns 57 years old, kind of like how Super Bowl 57 was played earlier this year. And of course, that's because the Church of Satan was established in 1966, the same year as the first Super Bowl season. And on the Church of Satan's birthday, what do you know? Shaq Barrett, who wears number 58 for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, as the Church of Satan begins its 58th year of existence en route to Super Bowl 58, Shaq Barrett, his child drowns in the swimming pool at home, according to authorities, on this day. And you know where Shaq Barrett's from? What city do I keep talking about in light of death in Super Bowl 58? If you listen to TFR this past Wednesday night, a caller called in who said Lamar Jackson was going to get shipped off. And I said, no, you're wrong. They just signed Odell Beckham, synced up with Lamar Jackson, which shows Lamar Jackson's not going anywhere. And then, of course, the very next day, being proven correct, Lamar Jackson signed his record deal with Baltimore. But again, I keep talking about the Baltimore Ravens and all of the death rituals pointing to Super Bowl 58 when Baltimore equals 58 in Gematria. And here's Shaq Barrett from Baltimore. So add this one to the list. And again, if you're new here, Gematria, it's the simple practice of coding numbers into words. It's very lucrative to know. There are 4 base ciphers. You want to know all 4. All 4 have been playing out in the baseball season with the Orioles. With the most simple cipher, Baltimore is 95. With numerology, the alphabetic order and numerology, Baltimore's 41. This death comes exactly 41 weeks before the Super Bowl. Super Bowl's 41, just like Baltimore. And when you run it in reverse, Baltimore's 148. And when you run it in reverse numerology, Baltimore's 58. And again, the most obvious death out of all the ones we talked about was Jerry Richardson, who founded the Carolina Black Panthers, who sent Cam Newton to the Super Bowl in a huge 58 ritual. But Jerry Richardson was drafted by Baltimore in 58. He died right after the Super Bowl. And again, now here we are with number 58 from Baltimore, exactly 41 weeks before the upcoming Super Bowl. His child dead on the Church of Satan's birthday. And for more familiar patterns, keep in mind, today is the 120th day of the year. Notice the gematria overlap with Illuminati and Shaq Barrett. Doesn't mean he's in the Illuminati, but means his numbers might be up in an Illuminati ritual on this 120th day of the year as the Warriors score 120 points, getting the win over the Kings. Now, Wikipedia is showing him when he was on the Denver Broncos wearing number 48. He did wear 48 for the Broncos, but his current number with the Tampa Bay Bucks is 58. And from his, or I should say from today, the day of the death of his child, to his upcoming birthday is 201 days. Remember, Order of Illuminati, founded by the Jesuit Adam Weishaupt. Adam Weishaupt ended up dying 201 days after the anniversary of its establishment. With regard to today being the anniversary of the establishment of the Church of Satan, remember Anton LaVey, born April 11th, dead October 29th, 201 days after his birthday. And the sitting pope at the time was Pope John Paul II. Notice Anton LaVey died 201 days before Pope John Paul II's birthday as well. Again, if you're new here, 201 is a very important number to the Jesuits. The Jesuits served the Pope. The Jesuits created the Illuminati. They clearly created the Church of Satan. They control all of our major sports leagues, which is why all of these rituals are perfectly synced up. And it makes sense. The phrase, all roads lead to Rome. The phrase, your number's up. All this stuff starts to make more sense when you become aware of this code. Again, 16th century, Jesuits created to stop the Protestant Reformation. English standardized with the 26-letter alphabet. Gregorian calendar rolls out. Heliocentric model agreed to. And from then on, everything in history forward by this code with the same recurring patterns. And again, today's the Church of Satan's birthday. Tomorrow's the Illuminati's birthday. Adam Weishaupt founded it May 1st, 1776. This morning, I talked about what's up with Nike's stock price and their new shoe coming out in tribute to Kobe on the Illuminati's birthday. So anyway, go figure. Go figure that this is the latest news. And this is what we were just outside a week ago. We were outside, the Staples Center, now the crypto.com arena in LA, trying to get these people to wake up to what they're supporting. You know, these players' names you wear on your back. What are these people really about? Are these people really participating in competition? Or are they participating in as athletic actors in a rigged script where it also requires ritual sacrifice to be on the stage and get all the fame and fortune that comes with it? This stuff just happens so much in the world of celebrity. Um, somebody will just turn this on and be, "Oh my God, show some respect. His 2-year-old drowned." And that'll be the same person that marches into the stadium. That's their mindset. That there's no conspiracies, there's nothing evil going on. They love the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They got a Shaq Barrett jersey. How could he ritualistically sacrifice his daughter? Again, it doesn't mean he wanted to. Look into what's that word? Svengali, the evil hidden hand in the entertainment industry. By the way, Shaq Barrett's 30 years old right now. It's the 30th of the month. His family surname, Barrett, in the most pure cipher, 30. It's also 105, like Order of Illuminati, going with the whole 201 thing. And then here's the latest from Donald Trump, who's in the club. Trump reports earning less than $201 from Truth Social. Again, this is the guy who got married in the Super 201 ritual way back in 1977, who gave birth to his first child on his 201st day of his age, who buried his ex-wife, who he had that child with, on the 201st day of the year, so on and so forth. Just like Joe Biden sacrificed his wife and daughter in 72 in a 201 ritual, and then his son, Beau Biden, died at age 46, 201 days before the Pope's birthday, before he became number 46, exactly 46 weeks after the Pope's birthday. And again, Pope Francis, the first to live in Suite 201 at the Vatican, the first Jesuit Pope. Okay, so now getting into the Jesuit order piece. Again, the Jesuit order has the 201, run it the other way, also 177. Look at who the manhunt's for in Texas. The 38-year-old killer. Just always the same numbers. But anyway, look at his name, 177, right? 177, like the Jesuit order. Notice also Jesuit 78. Look at his name again. 78. Where did he do the killing at? Cleveland, Texas. Cleveland 78, like the Jesuit Masonic motto, order out of chaos 78. By the way, the Jesuits created modern Freemasonry at the 32nd degree of the Scottish Rite. They share the Admirum de Gloriam motto with the Jesuits. 32 sun rays on the Jesuit logo, motto at the 32nd degree. Scottish Rite also has the 78. But again, just time and time again, these stories just perfectly encoded. And when you read the story, everybody should read the story and go, wait, the story doesn't make any sense. A family came outside and asked a man to stop shooting his rifle down the street, and then he killed the entire family. Okay. How does that story make sense? So he killed the entire family who asked him to stop shooting. So who's there to tell the story then? How's anyone know what the family said if they all got killed? Oh, somebody was down the block listening. So a psychopathic killer, he's not going to start shooting everyone on the block. I mean, all this stuff is nonstop bullshit, and it's all by the numbers. And again, just the fact that they have to report that the guy's 38 years old on the 118th day of the year. Again, death, 38 in the most simple cipher, 118 in Jewish. If you're new here, the Murder by Numbers movie poster, they code the E into a 3, the B into an 8, 3-8. The song Murder by Numbers in 83. The film Murder by Numbers, starring Sandra Bullock, that came out on the big Jesuit day, April 19th, exactly 38 weeks after her birthday, when she was in her 38th year of life. And again, what did they do this year on the anniversary of the Murder by Numbers film releasing? You had that K-pop star die 83 days after his birthday on April 19th, the big Jesuit day. And again, look into Korea and the Jesuits. I mean, they run the Jesuit order, 177, New World Order, 177. The Jesuits are the New World Order. They serve the Catholic Church, who gave us the New Testament and the new language in the New World. Klaus Schwab, who's a Jesuit, who's one of these big New World Order voices, 177, who put on Event 201. Notice his name's also 120 and 69, like Illuminati. See? So anyway, Shaq Barrett, the latest 201 thing. This is why I've been pulling my hair out trying to write a 50-page book on 201. I should have just kept writing the book and stopped starting over. I'd easily have I'd have way more than 201 pages on my 201 book. But it's just trying to condense the knowledge into a short read so people know what they're looking at every time this stuff happens. And again, you guys, it is biblical because the new religion is Christianity, where God demands sacrifices. It's also the Old Testament, right? But then the New Testament carries on, and now God sacrifices his only son. You just got to believe in that story, and then you'll have eternal life. If you just believe the story that God sacrificed his son for your betterment. So they always have these athletes who are controlled by the Society of Jesus sacrificing their children, as we're talking about redundantly. And here's a good way to make the point. The Holy Bible, 201, Bible alone, 30. Okay? So sacrificing the child 201 days from his birthday while he's 30, on the 30th, on the Illuminati's birthday. Bible's also 105, like Barrett. And Barrett's 84, like Sunday, right? And Barrett's also 51, the day before the Illuminati's May 1st birthday, founded by the Jesuit Adam Weishaupt, which is 51. But yeah, all this stuff, and you just see it, you guys. You just see it when you're awake. People are hooked on all the wrong things that they're so invested in, and they think they're the absolute truth, whether it's Donald Trump, the savior, as so many half-woke people falsely believe, half awake, whatever word you want to use. So many people think Christianity is the absolute truth, that you should be eating Jesus's body and drinking his blood every Sunday on your knees, putting money in the plate, believing that there's a savior who's going to come save you from above, removing all your power from yourself and your own responsibility as a human to do something about the evil ruling over us. I mean, it just couldn't be any more obvious. Showing day in and day out how the Society of Jesus mocks the world because they got them wrapped around their finger because they've been controlling us from birth with their slave system, their jab system, their school system, their government system, their TV system, their indoctrination systems, their chemical control systems, their pollution of the water systems. But yeah, it's sick. And then, by the way, Steph Curry with the record 50 points on the Church of Satan's birthday, representing San Francisco. Again, you guys, San Francisco 50, the team that was once 5-0 in Super Bowls, that hosted Super Bowl 50, the golden anniversary, the 49ers named after the gold rush. On the 38th day of the year that Super Bowl is the 38th state. Colorado won, as we just had another monster 38 Colorado ritual in baseball. But again, Curry drops 50 today. Notice how San Francisco's 122 and 50, just like Satanic is. San Francisco's on the 122nd meridian where the Church of Satan was established. He drops 50 on the Church of Satan's birthday. Now, the next game for the Warriors will be in San Francisco on the 122nd day of the year versus LeBron James, who has more dead bodies connected to him than anybody. And the Lakers' first home game for the series is scheduled on King Charles' coronation on May 6th, when, again, King James's son is King Charles. And we've been talking about all the bodies around King Charles, including the Queen, who died 201 days after her coronavirus diagnosis. Crown virus, corona, crown. Remember, I was waiting forever my first iteration of the 201 book, I was just waiting for the Queen to kick the bucket because I knew it would fit in with the 201 book. Sure enough, she dies 201 days after her COVID diagnosis. And again, royal family, 56. The last king dead at 56. His coronation on 5-6. LeBron's 4-6 in finals right now. Society of Jesus, 56. Coronavirus. And the list goes on. The pandemic declared 56 years after Trump's Jesuit education began. His fellow Jesuit, Anthony Fauci, face of the thing. Andrew Cuomo, the 56th governor, went to the same Jesuit school as Trump, Fordham. Gavin Newsom out in California with all his 56 rituals. Eating at the French Laundry when the Jesuits are from France and people aren't getting the jokes. The NBA's locked down over COVID, blamed on the Frenchman, Rudy Gobert. People aren't getting the jokes because they don't get that the Jesuits are from Paris, France. Another 56, you know? France, where they throw you in jail for questioning the events of World War II, a huge Jesuit scam. But yeah, again, if you got here late, Cliff Notes, Shaq Barrett from Baltimore. Where's the number 58 for the Bucks right now? Dead exactly 41 weeks before Super Bowl 58. Baltimore numbers as we continue to talk about nonstop deaths en route to Super Bowl 58 that connect to Baltimore. And again, something that's helped us out a lot in recent years with dominating football futures is the article written before the Super Bowl 54 season that said the era of the black quarterback is officially underway with Patrick Mahomes and Lamar Jackson shaking hands. But Jerry Richardson, who was drafted by Baltimore in 58, died right after the last Super Bowl at age 86. Notice Jerry Richardson, 86, like where the upcoming Super Bowl is, Las Vegas. Drafted in 58 by Baltimore. Founded the Carolina Black Panthers. Remember, Huey P. Newton founded the Black Panther Party. All the original Black Panther meetings were in Catholic churches in the Bay Area. Super Bowl 50 was in the Bay Area. That's how we predicted in October that Cam Newton would face Peyton Manning. Von Miller, number 58, would be the MVP as he would beat Cam Newton, the 58th quarterback to start in a Super Bowl. And we'd see a Black Panther tribute at halftime, which is exactly what Beyonce did, and she got criticized for it. But all that called in October. And by the way, Huey P. Newton also 131 and 41, like Super Bowl. Cam Newton born on the 131st day of the year in 1989. Huey P. Newton dead in the same year on the day, leaving 131 days left in the year, showing that Cam Newton was born and bred to be, having superior genetics, being a huge man, you know, like a statue of a man, like a living statue, born and bred to be. He had to stare at the football down by his feet that he could have easily picked up in Super Bowl 50 on the sack fumble by Von Miller, all on the way to him being the scripted MVP. But yeah, it's just sad that people can't see through the rigged games, and then people don't even blink an eye at all these suspicious deaths that just come nonstop in the world of sport. Just another headline I saw today. One of the Georgia players is in trouble for making a racist remark about Asians. Okay, remember the other year when we had the Asian spa killings in Georgia, and we used that to predict the 40-1 winner of the Masters, who was an Asian? Again, just the same themes just keep on coming nonstop. So, by the way, the little girl drowned today. I forgot to mention this part. Drowning, 50. Satanic, 50. San Francisco, 50. The Church of Satan established in San Francisco. Little girl has a drowning on its birthday. Is Steph Curry scoring 50. So he's got a fateful birthday too. The day leaving 44 days left in the year. 11/17, 2 ways to get to 187, the kill code. But yeah, Super Bowl will be on the 42nd day of the year. Exactly 41 weeks after today. One more thing about the manhunt story, the manhunt for the 38-year-old killer. You know what's funny about just the way life is? I was waiting for Sweet Lady Day. She was at the Goodwill doing some thrift shopping, and the Goodwill is right by. Remember the other year when I went to the mass shooting at the Fred Meyer in Washington State, which was 201 days from the anniversary of the Kroger founder's death. But that shooting was on the 38th day of the year, and at first they said a 38-year-old killed a 38-year-old, and then on the 39th day of the year, they changed the killer's age to 39 instead of 38, but still the person who was killed was 38. They said the feds got him on the 39th day, and federal's 39. But I was literally in the parking lot just waiting for Sweet Lady while she was shopping, and then I saw the headline about the 38-year-old killer. I was like, "Look at this, man. Look how redundant it is." I'm literally sitting across the street from where I was the day that happened, and now I'm reading about another 38-year-old mass shooter. And I mean, there's been a million in between and before that. He killed 4 adults and an 8-year-old. Again, they always got to get the 4 in there. 4, the number of the death from Far East. But here's the thing I want to say. Tomorrow, are they going to catch him tomorrow? Here's why they could catch him tomorrow. And I'll just remind you about what happened last year in May in Texas with the same number. So tomorrow's the first day of the 5th month, right? First day of the 5th month, kind of like 15, like Texas is 15. For the record, Illuminati 120. If you add 1 through 15 together, it equals 120. LeBron this year got his 15th win of the season in Atlanta. Atlanta, the 15 city, also the 120 city, 120, the 15th triangular number. And Atlanta's got 3 of the numbers of Illuminati, and it's known for being an occult town. But last year, the Uvalde shooting on May 24th. That day, the Yankees, the same day as the Uvalde shooting, the Yankees started a 15-game winning streak on the bat of a player who was from Texas, from nearby where Uvalde was. The day that they won their 15th game, the last in the streak, notice how Gunn is also 15. The day that they won their 15th game, that was the day the judge in New York upheld the concealed carry permit for New York. So it coincided with a judgment, and then you got Aaron Judge on the team, and Aaron Judge is always breaking the records during Yom Kippur, the time of judgment. But yeah, all this stuff, you guys, it's all ritual. So tomorrow, do they get the mass shooter in Texas? And keep in mind, tomorrow is also 5/1, right? Mass shooting 51, mass shooting also 66, like Texas. Do they get him tomorrow? Tomorrow will also have 49 date numerology. As we know, gun control's 49. Remember what they just did in Louisville? District 33 at Building 333, exactly 33 weeks after the mayor's birthday, and then 3 shootings in the same week while the mayor's 49 years old. The shooting at the bank was on the 49th day of Mitch McConnell's age and on the 94th day of Rand Paul's age, the 2 senators in the state. And the last time there was an assault weapons ban was 94. And it was on the date 13/9 in 94. Same day in history that Tupac Shakur would die 2 years later from gun violence. Tupac Shakur 139, like the day he died 13/9. But yeah, again, it would just be the latest Texas 15 gun ritual, and they did do one last May, so I'd say it's definitely not out of the realm of possibility. And again, I mean, people got to think about what's really going on with this. Like, did this shooting even really happen? Okay, did it even happen? By the way, just to show you why they did this new thing for the $80,000 reward today. Again, it's not an accident, you guys. Satan equals 80. Today's the Church of Satan's birthday. Okay, Satan's 80. Their symbol's the Baphomet, which is 80. And tomorrow is again, before he called it Order of Illuminati, Adam Weishaupt first called it Bavarian Illuminati. Bavarian Illuminati 80, and then he changed the name to Order of Illuminati. But tomorrow's the birthday. $80,000 reward. I mean, where'd they pick that number from? He killed his 5 neighbors. How many degrees are there in the Church of Satan? There's 5. There's 5. Are they going to get him on the first day of the 5th month? You know, there's another Satan tribute. Remember Donald Trump? Donald Trump, who only made $201 off Truth Social. Remember, the highest degree of the Church of Satan is mega. MAGA, like his thing, Make America Great Again. Mega, the highest degree of the Church of Satan. The first tenet of Satanism, self-worship. Do you think Donald Trump is a good representative of the first tenet of Satanism, self-worship? I mean, can you think of a bigger self-worshiper than Donald Trump? And again, I mean, for all my critics, again, the real problem with my critics is they can't swallow the truth pills I dish out over here. They're too big of pills for them to swallow. They choke too much. They get mad, but they get mad because I hit them in the things that they believe in the most. The word with lie right in the middle, believe. They believe in their religion, which is complete bullshit and wrong. They believe in their politics, which is complete bullshit and wrong. And I fully expose it. There's no way you can deny it. All you can do is turn on that cognitive dissonance and start talking shit because you're mad. And that's pretty much what all my critics are. You know, that Jake the asshole loser, guy who continues to make videos talking about me and slandering me. For some reason, his video popped up in my feed. So I went in there and said, hey, let's debate because he's already talking shit. And instead, he blocks me in the chat and then starts talking shit. And it's just like, see, that's a fucking loser. That's a fucking loser right there. Bring me on and debate. Don't mute me in the chat and talk more shit. He's like, oh, all that numbers scam bullshit you do. It's like, okay, you're a flat earther. Laughable. And my work has been proving itself in spades for a decade. Like, to say that this is a scam, you got to be either the fraud yourself or a real fucking moron. And when you are a flat earther, I say that's a strong possibility too. So anyway. Okay. Well, the one thing I got to give to Jake, though, even though the guy's a fucking retard, he does have a very loyal audience. He was getting dumped on super chats and his thing, and I was like, and it's just pathetic watching him too. I mean, he's just full of shit. He's like into racism. He likes to make racist jokes that he says he can get away with, and it's just like, this is what people like, huh? A fucking loser with racist jokes. This is where the money just flows in. Unless all these people really are shills, and then that's just like the YouTube accounts that pay him to get on here and shill. But I don't know what it is. Life-changing knowledge, not that interesting. Not a funny guy who likes racist jokes, who talks out of his ass. I don't know. Show me the money. So anyway, thanks, Steven. I appreciate the $2. But yeah, I think I got all the main points in here. And oh yeah, I guess just one more funny thing. The look at the last 3 Warriors games. They were played on the 120th day of the year, the 118th day of the year, and the 116th day of the year. Warriors win with 120 on the 120th day of the year. Kings win with 118 on the 118th day of the year. Kings lose with 116 on the 116th day of the year. So, again, just what are the odds of those things? I mean, the odds of that happening, astronomical. Yet these things happen every day in the land of rigged sports by the numbers. And then just little things in front of your face, a chaotic 72 hours. Again, the whole Russia-Ukraine thing's been one Jesuit shit show day after day. I'm bored of decoding it. The whole world should know at this point. And yeah, again, it's just like people aren't, I don't know. People don't like facts. People like bullshit, beliefs, nonsense. People who claim to be comedians who aren't funny. I don't know. I don't know, but it's disappointing. So anyway, we'll see if there's a recovery in May, you guys. If there's a recovery in May, might do some more traveling, but yeah, at the rate things are going, the more I travel, the more support goes down. And yeah, I asked a bunch of people if they could up their pledge. A ton of people have decreased their pledge to close out the month. So we're down even more than we were 72 hours ago. But yeah, I don't know. I am frustrated, you guys. I'm very frustrated. I thought last year when we went out and drove all across the nation, I thought we'd finally get like 10,000 people behind the movement, but instead we went down 2,000. And yeah, just all the additional hard work hasn't helped anything. And yeah, I just don't know what to do. It's just like, more and more shit show YouTube channels are showing up talking shit. And seemingly there's more support for those bullshit channels than what I do over here, which is all facts and life-changing knowledge. So thank you, Holly. Thank you, Holly. I appreciate it. But yeah, again, I guess maybe there really just aren't enough people in the world who care about the truth. maybe things are maybe things are as bad as I thought they were when I was 18 years old. So again, when I was 18, I couldn't find a single other person on the face of the earth that could see through the 9/11 lie. And I thought, wow, I mean, this is pretty pathetic. I knew people were dumb, but they're this dumb? Oh my God. Oh my God. I mean, and you guys, just like, how don't people see how? I mean, just look at the front page right now. Not what's up there. Cinemas. By the way, if you guys weren't here, we predicted how she would get in before she even got voted in, and I was saying, what a perfect name for political theater. Cinema. Cinema. I mean, what a joke. People just don't get the jokes all over the place. A vampire straw. What is a vampire straw? I'm sure that's important. I need to know what a fucking vampire straw is. Anyway. Thank you again, Barbara. I do appreciate it. So, anyway, the plan is one more time August 24th, LA, September 11th, New York. If the movement doesn't come back together, I don't know. I might be looking to where to relocate in the world. I don't know where you can escape this new world order, really, but just staying here in America, if there's not going to be a movement to change things, it's like, I don't really want to stay here on the sinking ship with all the morons. And it's just sad. It's like, why is everyone putting their mask back on right now? I can't believe I go outside, like half of the population has their mask on right now. It's like, okay, it's fucking 80 degrees outside. Sun, vitamin D, or what? Oh man, there's got to be a better place. There's got to be a better place than here. So tired of living in the shit show with all the fucking retards, man. 20 plus years of living in this population, it's too much. I mean, this society is just, it's a joke doesn't describe it. Worshipping an overgrown orange Oompa Loompa, half the population right now. That's pathetic. Still believing in these bullshit ass sports games as they've gone to new levels of unprecedented bullshit in recent years is beyond pathetic. Not catching on to the patterns. So pathetic. I mean, again, people need to recognize how pathetic their fellow man is, how inept these people are, what a fucking joke they are, and the fact that they don't care about facts or evidence, that their minds have been taken and all that they're controlled by is beliefs, believing in authority, believing in religion, believing in government, believing in news media. I mean, it's pathetic. How can you take a news anchor seriously telling you to go out and get jabbed up by Pfizer, as then it goes to commercial break and tells you the segment sponsored by Pfizer, the most sued company in the history of the world for wrongful death and injury, along with the company they merged with, GlaxoSmithKline, the two most sued companies in the world, with one super merger right before the pandemic, the so-called pandemic. 5-1 starts nuke training in Houston, huh? Hold on. Nuclear training Houston. They've done this stuff before, so I mean, you just never know when a drill is going to become a real news story. But yeah, just for people who are tripping out in Houston, I wouldn't trip. They did this in Portland with it was Portland, Phoenix, and like Guam. Top off 4. It was back in 2013 or 2014. It was supposedly the biggest nuclear drill there ever was at the time. But yeah, I mean, the nuclear climate is definitely up with all their Russia Ukraine crap they've been talking about. Anyway, just remember, everything they do, they make it more scarier than it actually is. So Don't be living in fear. Thank you, John Mendoza. All right. Anyway, we'll leave it there for tonight, True Seeker. And yeah, I just really wish people would wake the fuck up, man. It's just, and again, you guys, this is why I really feel that after 4 years of paying the bill on Free to Find Truth, that there should be a truth seeker network in every major city. And it's just like, well, I think we'll eventually get there if we keep persisting, and we're not in perpetual lockdown before then. But again, there should be like a truth seeker network in Tampa that's out in the city talking about what just happened to Shaq Barrett's child for real today. Not the bullshit in the news. Again, here's how they always cover in the news. The 2-year-old daughter of Tampa Bay Buccaneer linebacker Shaq Barrett drowned in a swimming pool Sunday at the family's Florida home, police said. Officers responded to Beach Park home in Tampa at 9:30 a.m. 9:30 a.m. Wow. There, let's go back again. Let's revisit. Order of Illuminati, 201 days for his birthday, 9:30 a.m. And then the 105 like Barrett. 93 is also related to the sun, which they say is 93 million miles away, a sacrifice to the sun. Like I was saying, all this stuff's biblical. Like how they say the 93rd day of the year is the day Jesus was crucified, the Son of God, crucifix 93, like God's Son, like Nazareth. The 930th chapter of the Bible is where the Christian section begins. And by the way, if you're new here, Christianity and Sumerian gematria, where you just multiply the alphabet a quarter times 6, is 930. Okay, but at 9:30 a.m., that's when it happened. That's when the child fell into the pool. It's like satanic baptism. Well, it's too much water for the baptism. The Tampa Police Department said the child was taken to an area hospital but could not be revived and was pronounced dead shortly after, authorities said. It was a tragic accident and no foul play was involved, police said. The Buccaneers released a statement in support of Barrett and his family. That's probably the chain of command that the order came through. Today's tragic news is heartbreaking for all members of the Buccaneers family. Our thoughts and prayers are with Shaq, Jordana, and the entire Barrett family during this unimaginably difficult time, the team said. While no words can provide true comfort at a time such as this, we offer our support and love as they begin to process this very profound loss of their beloved Araya. Here, I didn't even check the child's name. Araya. Oh, God. I mean, did I not just start the day by talking about how significant 72 is to the Jesuits while they got up on the screen the 72 hours in Russia, Ukraine? 36, 666, the 36th triangular number, 45 like ritual, like IHS. But 72, 72 Jesuit order, 72 demons in the Croatia, 72 names of God in Kabbalah. Araya, what's her last name? Araya Barrett, 66. What year was the Church of Satan established? Oh, 66, right? Also 96, like Satanism. Nice. Barrett, 30, has played 9 seasons in the National Football League. 9. He entered the league as an undrafted free agent out of Colorado State. Again, 45 is the 9th triangular number. It has to do with completion. It goes with the child's name. It goes with numerology rituals. He entered the league as an undrafted free agent out of Colorado State and played his first 5 years with the Denver Broncos, winning the Super Bowl in 2015. Oh, wow. Well, remember what Super Bowl that was? That was the Cam Newton Black Panther Bowl that was all about 58. Now he wears the number 58. And again, The upcoming Super Bowl is 58, and his child's dead 41 weeks before it. In 2019, Barrett signed with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. He was a part of the Buccaneers Super Bowl winning team in 2021. So he's won multiple Super Bowls, this guy, coming in the league as an undrafted free agent. Latest was with Tom Brady in the GOAT ritual, which couldn't have been any more satanic. Remember, that was Super Bowl 55, where the Weeknd came down with the glowing red eyes like a fallen angel, which is another 55. Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, we'll see how many more rituals can happen connecting death, Baltimore, and the upcoming Super Bowl before the big game comes around. So, hold on. I forgot something off the top of my head, but we're going to go back and check it right now. Deaths in 2023, we're going to go back to February 11th, which is a year to the day of the upcoming Super Bowl. I forget who it was. Let's scroll back here. Don't get dizzy. Oh, snap. All right, February 11th. Hold on. Doug Fisher of the Steelers died that day. De La Soul Rapper died that day. Hold on. Oh, hold on. I got on the wrong day. Hold on. He's not up here now. I have to go back and look because we covered it earlier this year. There was an NFL player who died on this day. All right, I'll go back and figure it out. But anyway, there's been a lot of deaths connected to Baltimore, and the most obvious has been Jerry Richardson, drafted in 58 by Baltimore, whose death screamed next year's Super Bowl in Las Vegas. And he died on the 60th day of the year, too, in the Super Bowls in Allegiant Stadium. So, hold on. Here's the world's biggest Carolina Panther fan. What's up, man?
Yo, Barrett's birthday, I don't know if you call it this. Barrett's birthday is 11/17, and 11 times 17 is 187.
My guy, I already covered all this. I already know all that. 11/17, also the 187th prime number. Of course, I cut out his birthday. It's 201 days for his birthday.
Yeah, but Jerry Richardson's birthday is 18/7.
Okay.
I don't know if you put that together like that.
Sure. It's the Jesuits.
Yeah, Society of Jesus, 187.
Told you Lamar Jackson was staying in Baltimore, by the way.
Yeah, it's funny that happened hours after TFR. I'm wondering if the call influenced what happened.
I doubt it. Again, it was obvious he was staying there. Like I told you, the Odell Beckham Jr. trade was all synced up with Lamar Jackson in the Super Bowl. So,
right on. And Shaq Barrett was born on a day with 120 date numerology.
I see that. 11 plus 17 plus 92. Yeah, 120.
Yep. Amazing how they do it. But that's all I had, man. So.
All right. Appreciate it.
Yeah. Peace.
Later. Remember 11/17? That's when the Yellow Vest riot started in Paris, France, the home of the Jesuits. And everyone was getting mad at me because they're like, what are you talking about? This is staged. It's an organic uprising. I mean, that's what it is, you guys. That's what's annoying about this world. Like, if you're intelligent and you have knowledge, you're continually competing with a group of morons who have loud mouths, who don't know shit about shit, and are just so easily provoked and get so annoyed. What do you mean? All my knowledge comes from the TV. I mean, it's really like what people should be saying who are arguing with me. What do you mean? I don't know that because all I watch is the TV. It is sad. So. All I got to say about the Lakers is just watch whatever they do May 6th, the day of King Charles' coronation. You're probably going to know all you need to know about how far the Lakers are going that day. Is kinfolk controlled up? I don't know. I don't think he is. I don't know what he is, but yeah, I mean, I appreciate that he gets the work out there, but sometimes he never starts his decodes in the right place. He always starts in a place that's just like, what? And the other thing that's suspect is YouTube allows his channel to grow. It's like, I'm not allowed to grow anymore. They have to continually be unsubbing people, taking away every comment, every like. They got to do everything to keep the channel small, but they let his channel grow. And essentially, it's because the way he delivers the information isn't threatening to the cabal. Shout out to Holly Winchell, who I think chipped in more than one time. I worked in the pharmaceutical industry for 25 plus years and was privy to all the research going into new drugs. Scary stuff. Not saying people shouldn't take life-saving medications, but there are certainly questions. Here, you know what? Here, I want you guys, I'm not going to say this out loud because it'll get the video taken down, but this is one of the most common meds in the country. And if you're on it, here's what I want you to do is do more research. Cholesterol medication, statin. This is one of the most prescribed drugs in all of America. And common side effects, chest pain, muscle cramping, tightening. A lot of people have more severe side effects. And the thing is, if you look into how helpful statin is, so I'll just tell you what, again, sweet lady did learn a few things in school. And one of them was this thing is actually not that great. So you might want to look more into statin. If you guys are on it, you might want to not be. By the way, something that can also help out if you have high cholesterol, not vitamin K. There's another one. It's like the ski brand. K2. Look into this vitamin. It can help your body process what you eat a lot better. And it can help prevent buildup in your arteries. So it's annoying that we can't really talk about things. It's so annoying that we can't talk about things. It's annoying that every pharmacist knows the truth about the child jab and how expired it was when it showed up at all the pharmacies, how long it had been at a military base in Michigan for. So anyway, and everything I'm saying are facts. But yeah, big pharma, man, they own this nation. So that's why there's pharmacies everywhere. Everybody's on drugs everywhere. And you just see how they got everybody on drugs. They feed them a crap diet. Then they go out and take the meds to try and remedy the crap diet instead of just doing things the right way. Eating right, getting enough sleep. So, anyhow. Yeah, there's also a drug on the street called K2. Yeah, don't confuse it with that. I'm talking about vitamin K2. Do some research on vitamin K2, and if you're on this thing, think twice. So All right, yeah, we'll leave it there for tonight, True Seeker. And yeah, I hope in May we can rally the troops. Because yeah, it's just annoying going out and doing things that it's just like I can't even logically justify. It's like, okay, so like people in the community, they didn't like what we did in California. They thought it was bad. Really? And we didn't bring in any new people? Really? There's not more people that see why this is important, want to get behind it and make it happen more? Really? So anyway, I'm just yeah. I don't like that the last 10 years the world's gotten 10 million times worse, which actually doesn't surprise me, but just that the fact that this movement's plateaued and not growing. I know that algorithms and censorship are a lot of the reason for that, but still, I feel like we should still be growing anyway, just based on word of mouth and other people helping get the knowledge out there. But somehow, some way, that's not happening, and yeah, it's just decisions. You know, do you spend another 10 years trying to wake up the world? Or do you say, you know what, you spent, because it's not just 10 years, you guys. I've been speaking out since I was 18 years old. I've been speaking out for over 20 years, really. And yeah, it just, society just stays stuck on stupid, man. They just stay stuck on stupid. It's like they don't learn, they don't improve, they fall further into the trap. So I guess I'll try to remain positive. We'll try to do something real big in LA August 24th and New York September 11th. But if that doesn't happen, I don't know. I don't want to keep pulling my hair out, and smashing my head on the wall, which is what it feels like. So again, I know that the work that I do, it's awesome. It's undeniable. We figured out these Illuminati fucks and what they're doing. And it's just like the rest of the world's just too hard headed to get it. And that's pathetic, man. It's pathetic. Shout out to DMS. All the answers are within. People think too much. Great book to read is 3 magic words. Maybe that's what I need to do. 3 magic words. Got to write that new children's book with the coloring pages with no more than 3 words on them. So appreciate the generosity, though, DMS. For the person in the chat who says never give up, it's not that I would give up. It's just that, I don't know. Go figure out to do something like what I was doing before I did this. But before I was doing this, I had a business that was booming. I got to figure out how to get a booming business so I can get some resources to do what actually needs to be done. Again, I keep saying we don't have enough resources. People got all these ideas. It's like, yeah, that's a great idea. I don't have enough resources to do that. So I started to read a little bit of The Prophet, Lunaros. That book's really short. I might just, after I finish reading it, we might just do a live stream where I just read the whole book. It's just, I probably can read that book in an hour and a half. Am I taking calls tonight? What, do you want me to take calls? Here, if you guys want to come on and add something, the link's in the chat. Do a little bit of calls. All right. Again, the link's in the chat for the person who wanted to make a call. That's the way to call in tonight. And again, when you do that, you don't have to put your face on the screen, but you do have to open up your mic. Wait a minute. I'm not sure this is the person in the chat or if this is a troll. First person in the chat, what's up?
Can you hear me? Hold on one second. Let me fix my mic. Can you hear me, Zach?
I can hear you. What's up?
I'm not a troll, brother. I appreciate your work, what you do, man. I look up your work, man. You're a good person, man, and I just think there's a lot of weird things going on with that whole nuke thing, man. With how the Illuminati was founded on 5/1 and how they're announcing that with the whole 1/5. So there's definitely a lot of weird things going on, in my opinion. And with the numbers, and like you said, it's all connected. Everything is connected. They're showing you what they are planning.
Yeah. I'm sure at some point we will get the nuclear false flag scare on the scale of 9/11 to catapult the next part of the agenda. I'm sure that's coming. So
Most definitely, yeah. And you can check out my channel too, Truth Seeker. I'm doing a lot of work over there too, trying to get the word out too. We're all in this together, and you do deserve a lot more views than what you get. I know YouTube is trying to silence you. It's kind of hard to find your work sometimes, but I do appreciate all you're doing, brother. Don't let the trolls get you down, and don't let those,
it's
morons.
not the trolls, it's the lack of other people stepping up and helping out.
Yeah, I
So
agree. I agree. It just seems like a lot of people are living in a bubble anymore. And then,
and
like,
again,
I've even
it's just
tried.
like, I mean, it's just frustrating. It's like, thank you to everyone who came out to LA, but where the fuck is everybody else? We don't even have 100 people in LA. I mean, pathetic.
Yeah, it's like
So
I've even tried talking to people, man, trying to expose, like, show them the numbers, and they don't want to hear it. They're like, "Oh no, I'm too concerned about this team of sports or whatever." I was trying to show this one person. He's like, "No, I'm just worried about the Cavaliers because he's a Cavs fan. I don't care about the numbers that you're showing me." And I was like, "Man, these people just don't want to hear it. They don't want to hear what's really in front of them. They just want to live in their own bubble and eat the poison, take the shots, and just, you know, live in their own little bubble."
indeed. And I just got to stop and say, okay, Holly, I really do appreciate the generosity, but I also start feeling bad when I feel like people donate too much. You've now donated $240 in this live stream, which is might be a record. Please never donate another dollar to me in your lifetime. You guys, I mean, I really do appreciate that. But again, what I get mad about is that there's not thousands of people in the world that are willing to pledge $1 a month towards this work. I mean, again, I've shown over the course of the decade, I'll work my ass off every day, even if there's no resources. I put money back into the community. I actually go out and do things. I give away gear. I help other people out. There should be a lot of reasons for people to pledge $1 a month. Uh, but then 240 a month at the same time, like I think about that, I'm like, man, if there were 1,000 people in the world who could pledge that, that would actually help us do a lot. So anyway, Holly, seriously, never donate another dollar in your lifetime. But God, for all the people that have been around for years, because I know there's so many people in this community that have been around for years and have never donated $1. Again, you guys, that's the like I keep saying. Imagine there's a big amount of people donating $1 a month. Imagine all the people we could hire. Imagine having Gematria Effect news vans in like the major cities of the nation. Imagine we had one in LA and New York and some other big city more in the middle of the country. I mean, that's what we need to have. We need to have like a presence everywhere, getting out the word all the time because this knowledge is usable every single day. There's something to talk about every single day that exposes what is being done to us and how we're being manipulated. And I don't know why. And it just makes me sick that there's all these frauds on YouTube that sit on here all day with their bullshit and never give anybody anything that's worth anything other than more fear mongering and nonsense. And then they always are talking shit about me. But yeah, again, thank you very much, Holly. That's amazing. And by the way, for a person like Holly, like sometimes people donate too much, and then 3 months down the road, they're in a bad spot and they need their money back. Just so you know, Holly, if you're ever in a bad spot, come back and ask for your money back. I'd be happy to send it to you. But anyway, go back. What were you saying, True Seeker? Thank you.
Oh, no problem, brother. One more thing. I just want to discuss the Project Bluebeam, man. I do think they're going to stage some kind of fake alien invasion in the future, in my opinion. What's your thoughts on that?
I mean, it's possible. I mean, that's another way they could unite everybody. That they have. I mean, nobody could in the last decade. In the last decade, it was about 10 years ago where the news was showing all that footage of the UFOs above like all the major sites in the U.S., holy sites. And I feel like in the last decade, there's been this uptick in amount of news media programming focusing on UFOs and aliens and Again, the 1947 year, the first official UFO sighting over the 47th parallel in Seattle, where the Space Needle is, followed up by Roswell, the 47th state in 47. And again, you got like Bill Gates and Jeff Bezos starting their businesses in New Mexico and moving them up to Seattle. Again, the big alien number is 94. What's 94 years after 47? 53. Oh, that's funny. Is that 2041? Is that right? Hold on. Alien is 41 forwards, 94 in reverse. It's from 1947 to 2041 is 94 years, isn't it? Yeah. I don't know. Maybe 2041 is the year that they come through with the big alien agenda. But I definitely don't think that's out of the question. Again, they do everything by the numbers. Again, this 94 thing, you guys, like Seattle, Washington is 94, where the first sighting was from, and everything's 94 in Seattle. 94, the big year. Bill Gates became a celebrity. Kurt Cobain died 94 days after his wedding. So on and so forth. Seahawks won their only Super Bowl in the 94 season, and then Russell Wilson's grandpa died at age 94. But yeah, I mean, I won't. They could do anything, right? I mean, that's what we realize, that if it's on the TV, no matter how fake and nonsensical it is, everyone will believe it. So
I agree completely.
So yeah, I mean, huge nuclear scare to push an agenda. The aliens are here. We all need to unite under the new world order. Total lockdown, where the government needs to peer into every millimeter of your existence to make sure you're not one of the alien spawn. I mean, they could do any of that and get away with it. So,
yep. And one last thing, I pointed this out on one of my videos I did too. Cashless society, when you type that in, it equals 223. I found that very interesting, because that's, the skull and bones number in reverse. And it also is 2023. And you see all this cashless stuff they're promoting and pushing in the year 2023. So I found that very interesting too.
Indeed.
God bless you,
we got
Zach.
a couple more truth seekers in the room if they
Zach.
want to contribute to the conversation, but let's go in the order people got in here. Joshua Golden, what's up?
Hey, Zach, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Hey, I got a few questions for you, man. Just regarding, sports first. Do you think that we're seeing, just gematria in general? Because I came across your work back in the 10th grade when Kobe Bryant had passed. And I was just wondering, the more I study this and look at certain things that happens in the world, of course, some of this stuff is manipulative. I have a dad that's an actor. He's not a superstar, but he's been in all over the world, movie premieres. Like, he shares things with me, that certain things that goes on that people have tried to manipulate him into doing on the lower level. So I know it happens at the highest level. I'm not dumbfounded by that. But do you think some of this work is almost like, I don't want to say we cracked the code to like life, but some of this stuff is like so deep that the numbers are almost a way it's showing like our life is just written in a certain way, if you get what I'm saying.
There's definitely an organic side to the code. Again,
yeah, that's what I'm trying to get at. Organics, yeah.
Yeah, there is. And at first I thought it was silly when I started researching it, because when I first came into this, I was just trying to get answers, and I was reading all this stuff, and I read about the organic side, and it seemed kind of silly to me. But then through living and experience in life, I was like, wait a minute, these people aren't tripping. There is something organic.
Oh yeah, everything definitely is not a coincidence. You don't see these numbers pop up in the media over and over again and just ignore it. But certain things, of course, like sports, some of those things can be such of a reach. I'm not here to say that this stuff isn't true. Trust me, I know it's true. It's 100%. It's an ancient practice. But I've been around some of these guys. My little brother actually, Ja Morant is like the ambassador of their AAU team. I'm like, these dudes, some of these dudes are great guys. Like, are they going out there just throwing the games?
Obviously.
Like,
I mean, did you see the way the way Memphis was playing against LA last Saturday when I was in LA? I mean, they're just shooting up bricks. They're not even hitting the rim. I mean, please, you're not. Listen, I'm a good shooter. You have never seen me in a game miss the rim. I don't shoot air balls. And if I was in the NBA, I would expect that you'd be. or NBA players, I'd expect them to be 10 times better than I am. So
Yeah,
there's no
absolutely.
excuse to be in the NBA shooting air balls, hitting the side of the backboard, missing the rim completely. No way.
Let's not forget
Absolutely.
about also the Jordan Poole thing too. The other night when he was just playing absolutely just horrible. Like, come on, man, that was all an act. These people were purposely throwing these games to keep the entertainment, to keep the money flowing. They wanted the Warriors and Lakers because that equals
Look
ratings.
at the way Boston just lost to Atlanta the other night. They're up like 13 with like 4 minutes left, and then they turn over the ball 6 straight times down the court just with like lazy lob passes right towards the Atlanta. It's just like, who's watching this and thinks this is real right now?
Exactly. I mean, honestly, case in point, look at the one Super Bowl where Russell Wilson threw the ball at the 1 yard line, didn't give it to Lynch. Come on.
The huge
If that
21
doesn't show
ritual as
people,
Brady gets his 21st playoff win and wins the Super Bowl. I mean, come on.
yeah, if that doesn't show people sports are rigged. And then the Chiefs winning this year, we have all the China stuff. Their colors are kind of like China, winning with the murder number. Come on. It's all staged.
Sure. Oh, okay. Shout out to Gematria. I took you out for a second because I wasn't sure if you were one of those trolls that was about to drop your pants like we had the other week. But
oh man, there's some trolls out there, man. I tell you.
Yeah. What's up? Shout out Gematria. What do you want to add to the conversation?
Yeah, I got something pretty valuable. I'd say my older brother. I wish he was here right now. I'd have him jump on with me, but he actually played high school. If you hear something, it's just my dog right here. We were getting ready to go on a walk, but then I decided to call in. Anyways, my brother played high school football against Shaq Barrett. He went to Boys Town in Nebraska, and Boys Town is like, if you get in trouble, it's for troubled youth. It's like 85%, 90% black guys, just to keep it real. And they're obviously very athletic, very strong. And my brother was a pretty good athlete himself. He's big. He's like 6'3". And anyways, he's playing him in high school football. And, I used to think back in the day that, everyone on the field's a Manchurian, nobody is out the mud, it's all Manchurians. But, as I've got older and I've got more knowledge, I'm starting to think, well, it's probably about half and half, or, 60-40. I'm leaning 60 Manchurian, maybe 40% real. But me and my brother talk and we're like, man, what if Shaq Barrett would have broke his leg during that game or something, or any game in high school, and he never made it to the league? Would his daughter still be alive? Just questions like that. But my brother, we talk about it all the time because we seen him win the Super Bowl with Denver, and now he's doing his thing with Tampa Bay. And my brother, like I said, he's like 6'3", pretty big guy, but he said, Shaq Barrett was just the best player on the field. And it was a small town, don't get it wrong or whatever. It was a pretty small town. And, so my brother was on the field like every play, offense and defense, because, don't have a lot of kids to choose from or whatever. But so real life story. My brother played against Shaq Barrett, and we just talk about stuff like this all the time, like if he got injured or whatever. But yeah, so that's what I wanted to add. Now, as far as him sacrificing his daughter, I do think they make these players do it, or they're under some sort of MK Ultra or something, because I don't think Shaq Barrett is a Manchurian. I think he's a real person, and he got in trouble and got sent to Boys Town here in Nebraska. It's in Omaha, Nebraska. And
you got the Jesuit school out there too in Omaha.
Yep. We got it all, man. People think dude, the world is so uneducated. I was in Florida and I literally had people asking me, do you guys still ride horsebacks like to the store and to school? It's like, how uneducated is this nation to think we're still riding horsebacks? Well, you live in Nebraska. I mean, it's all corn and cattle, and some of that's true, but it's just, we're doomed, man. We're doomed. People think we ride horseback and stuff still. We're doomed. I mean, we do, but not in the cities, man. And it's just, we're doomed.
The country's not on horseback anymore. Cars actually made it to Nebraska too.
Exactly. So yeah, I don't know if anybody has any similar experiences.
Can I say something really quick?
Yeah, jump in. What's up, man?
Yeah, Zach. Yo, this is to your audience, man. Listen, if all of y'all, if there's any trolls out there that thinks this isn't real, or this is some kind of scam, this is some joke, start questioning yourself. Stop trying to question somebody that's trying to make change, and start questioning the people that really influence our everyday lives. We're already enslaved. I tell people all the time, people tell me all the time they feel like a slave. It's not that we feel like a slave. We are mentally enslaved. We're enslaved to brands. We're enslaved to a band symbol. We're enslaved to change. Girls are enslaved to a concept that diamond rings are a girl best friend. Like, girls in London don't even wear engagement rings. That's all been programmed into us. When we're born artists, we're born carefree, and then we're held down by society's perception of us. We just don't want to be embarrassed. And Zach takes the opportunity to look as stupid as possible every day to bring you the truth because he doesn't care. And that's what we need. Some of the stuff can be a reach, but we have to go that far if we're going to create any change. We have to go overboard. We have to over-exaggerate. You have to do that if you're going to create any change. You can't be conservative and say, I'm not going to speak on this because this might sound absurd because people won't believe this. No, we have to touch on every topic. And if we communicate these things and keep putting it out there, we can get that far.
There's not enough doers, man. Zach's been doing
not
that for
enough
years.
doers. We're human beings. Just be. We're not human doers. Like, people get like the most. What do you say is the biggest form of power? People say the government, this,
the TV.
We can't, the TV. We can't overthrow this, but the real power is simply in the elements: earth, water, fire, and with these things, we can engineer a new civilization that could change this. But we're so in our phones, we're so in the TV, just like you said. We can't even get. Like, do not let the numbers control you. When I say the numbers, I don't mean gematria numbers. I mean money and all this. How many people on this stream are wondering, can I cover rent? Can I cover Christmas? Can I do this? Yeah. That's 50 people trying to control $1 billion. Do not let the numbers control you. I'm 18 years old. I'm coming into my own. I'm in nursing school right now. I know I have to deal with politics and all this, but I'm not going to fall back and just succumb to bullshit. You get what I'm saying? And I appreciate Zach being on here sharing this knowledge. Like, literally, Zach and my dad is the only two people I know who knows about this stuff. You know, so it's really funny. And I just want to say I appreciate you, man. Keep doing what you're doing, Zach.
That's cool that your dad's awake and he's being a good influence for you.
Oh, yeah, man. Yeah.
Yep. What you just said about the TV, though, I was just having that thought the other day.
Wait, can I say one more thing, Zach? Not to cut you off, Zach. And everybody out here, I just want to say this. I got to throw this out as the student. I'm not on here to outdo Zach. Zach is the master. Everybody knows rule number 1, 48 laws of power. Go ahead, Zach.
Yeah, I was just saying the point you guys are making about the TV being the most influential voice in the household. I mean, sadly, that's true for almost everybody's household. I was just having that thought about my sister the other day because my mom was saying she can't get my sister to listen to a word. And then my sister also doesn't listen to me, but she listens to everything on the TV. And I was just imagining, had we been born 100 years ago, she wouldn't have the TV influencing her, but then she might actually listen to her own mom and her brother. But we're all having this, all of us who are awake are having the same problem. Our families are mostly going along with the authority, which is in our house through the screens. Mm-hmm. And again, it goes to show the power of technology. And it's a reminder. I mean, for people who missed it, I just went down to California and filmed what all of these big tech places look like. They're all like military bases. They're all heavily fortified. Yeah, I see.
That's
they
crazy.
Have security and police and cameras everywhere. They don't look like anything nice or that it's about fun. It looks like it's a military operation, and we know that it is. Again, case in point, Facebook looked the most fortified, and Facebook was launched the exact same day the military's DARPA program ended LifeLog, which was the same thing as Facebook. And to answer Holly's question in the chat, she said she was at Super Bowl 57, and she wondered what was up with Rihanna's halftime ritual. Again, there was a lot to it, but remember, she just gave birth, and then she was also pregnant for the performance. In gematria, birth equals 57. And again, I mean, it's obviously more than just her birth, right? It's like, what is being birthed right now? It's like we're transitioning into something where we haven't quite seen this in our lifetime, where there's this much government control over our lives. From what we just experienced with COVID and the lockdowns and having to close our businesses. I mean, none of that had ever happened in any of our lifetimes before. And now the digital currency is about to roll out, where the government soon will have, a perfect tracking record of every last financial transaction we have. Again, that new federal digital currency rolls out in July. It's going to be voluntary at first, but ask yourself how long you think it's going to remain voluntary.
Yep.
And again, that phrase blockchain, somebody made the point. It's like we're all going to be chained to the blockchain, where the federal government will have, all eyes on everything we do. And then again, just imagine in the future when then they bring in the social credit score, and based on your behavior in society, it now qualifies you or disqualifies you from this and that. I mean, that's the direction we're going. They do not want. I mean, look at it. Big tech doesn't respect free speech or the Second Amendment. We know that these big tech companies are really funded by government grants. It's all coming together, and nobody's standing up really to do anything about it. Or I shouldn't say nobody, but we're isolated right now. We're not working together. It's like we need to start showing up by the millions in the parking lots of Facebook, YouTube, Google, Twitter, and it's just making me sick watching Elon Musk do the rounds from Tucker Carlson to Bill Maher, and they're praising him for his fight.
Oh yeah,
for
Elon's control.
It's total bullshit. There's been more censorship on Twitter since he took over.
Yeah,
I
Elon
have been censored 10 times much as I ever was before he took over. He's not doing anything for the First Amendment. He's another Jesuit stooge. He's so Orwellian, but anyway, it's like everything that's happening right now is happening, and there's no real resistance to stop any of it. And again, that's what we've been trying to create here for a decade. But that's why, showing up in LA on August 24th, Kobe Bryant Day, to talk about Kobe's death, it's more than just Kobe's death. It's getting people to stand up and speak up and say, listen,
exactly.
Yeah, we're being played with.
I agree.
Yo,
hey,
Zach, can I? Oh, go ahead.
Oh, sorry to interrupt. Hey, Zach, I just wanted to comment on the Rihanna thing. If you've also noticed too, the color red has been synonymous with this year. Doja Cat wore the color red, Rihanna wore the color red, Chiefs won the Super Bowl with the color red, and then you had the whole Trump stuff. MAGA, they wear the color red, and like you pointed out, MAGA is the highest degree in the Satanic Church. So there's something with that color red. I could represent war, and you see all these talks about war and everything.
And communism.
So,
remember the big
ritual
right before the Super Bowl was the big Chinese spy balloon that went from Montana, who used to play for the Chiefs, to Kansas City. It's like, okay, where's the news coverage about the spy balloon? Montana and Kansas City aren't right next to each other, so why are they covering it this way? Again, if you guys weren't here, spy balloon, same gematria as Super Bowl. It started in the 41st state, just like how we're talking about Shaq Barrett's kid dead 41 weeks before the upcoming Super Bowl. But yeah,
and the whole egg.
There's
an egg
red is
too this
war,
year.
but it's also communism, and it's like it is like communism right now. In communism, you have a lot less control over your own life, and the government has a lot more control over your life, supposedly for the betterment and equality of humanity. But again, we see this isn't for the betterment or for equality. It's for just a group of oligarchs having total control over humanity. So.
Oh yeah, and the Tucker Carlson thing, I think that's really just to start with how they're going to try to silence even us, because Tucker is controlled. Fox equals 666 in gematria. So I mean, that's all controlled for a reason. The bracelet that Tucker's wore, so it's all controlled. They're going to use this to shut us up completely. That's why they want to do this new digital currency. They want to take complete control of our lives, monitor what we spend, what we do, where we go, and like you said, television's a key too. Because think about it, you're finding a program to watch. They're programming you, and they're flashing all this subliminal messaging through commercials and everything else. I've even watched, like my nephew, he's watched TV and he's just like sucked into the program. Like you try talking to him and he just won't even talk to you half the time. They are literally mind controlling people through television.
Yeah, not to mention if sometimes I babysit a toddler and throw on some cartoons, and there's so many adult jokes and perverted things. Like there was a group of kids sitting around bananas, and they're like, "Well, you should think about eating that banana." And then this little girl, jumps in and is like, "Well, I don't know if you should eat that banana. That one's kind of hard." And then all the kids start laughing, like just all perverted, man. It's all sick, and
it's called television. Tell lies to your vision.
Yeah, of course. We all know that already. We all know that.
Yeah, exactly, man.
It's just sick, man. They get energy. What they do is they get energy from putting things in your face, and there's nothing you can do about it. Or 99% of the world
there
is
something you could do about it.
We've been trying for years. Listen, man, there's not enough viewers. This is the reality of the situation.
I have for you guys, or anybody that's been out there with Zach. Can you share with the audience what keeps you guys motivated for? Because you go through these stretches and nobody wants to listen, nobody wants to wake up. I don't even feel motivated. I have a group of friends, and some of them deny stuff I try to kick to them, and I get disinterested in talking about it to them. So I could imagine you guys.
Not everyone's
talking
meant
to
for it, brother. Not everyone's meant for the knowledge, man.
Yeah.
Not everyone's meant for it.
But again, to answer the question about what keeps people like us motivated that keep
Yep.
doing it, it's just thinking about where we're going if nothing changes. I mean, like the only way you lose the game is if you don't win and you quit, right?
Exactly.
So again, even though it's a major uphill battle, and I mean, there is the possibility that we don't win the game and we continue to lose. You definitely have lost if you end the fight. So, I mean, that's what keeps me going. Otherwise, I would have quit a long time ago. And to be perfectly honest, I did quit in my early 20s for a little bit just to be a normal 20-some-year-old and have fun with my friends and do things that people do normally in their young 20s. Because, I mean, again, there was a period of isolation in my life after 9/11 when I was 18 where I was just like, fuck everybody, man. If everyone's this dumb and gets this offended about me questioning this, I don't want to associate with anybody. And I just read and researched and was almost like a hermit for a while. But then, you know, by the end of college in my 20s, I was like, I got to be a human being again for a little bit. And that only lasted for a little while because I still continue to live in the same world with the same type of bullshit going on. And that drove me even more nuts. So I've constantly stayed about trying to do something to make the world that's so messed up better. And it is frustrating. I mean, you see, I'm always annoyed and frustrated. I mean, it comes out all the time when I'm on here communicating, but I just keep doing it anyway because
we'd rather die standing than live on our knees.
Yeah, exactly. Well said.
That's why I do it. That's what keeps me going. I don't care if there's, we're outnumbered 1,000 to 1. If you're a real truth seeker, you're outnumbered 1,000 to 1. So you got to be a tough SOB to even, sometimes me and my brother, we're pretty woke. We know sports are fake, this and that. And sometimes I'll tell people, hey, that's rigged or that's fake, and because I've always been that type of person, pretty fiery person. And my brother's always like, he's more calm. He's like, hey, just let it go. Don't trip on him or whatever. But I'm like, nah, man, if I can help wake somebody up or plant that seed as they're walking by, I'm going to tell them like, I see somebody with an Eagles jersey, Cowboys jersey. And I'm always like, hey, man, those games are fake, right? They kind of look at me crazy. I'm like, well, when a team comes back from down 33 points in a half of football, it seems pretty fake. You know what I mean? So anyways, yeah. But if you wake up in the morning and you're eating donuts for breakfast, you're not a true seeker. If you're waiting 25 minutes in the line at a fucking McDonald's, you're not a true seeker. Let's keep it real here. No more sugarcoating.
What age range would you say your audience mostly is?
Well, according to the demographics, it says most of the people are between ages 30 and 50, if that's true.
Exactly. And listen, I'm 18 and it's so hard. It's so hard to reach that generation of 30 and 50. It's because they're like almost set in their ways. And it's like, when you get to 50, it's like, how much are you really eager to change your life after all this time? And that's cool, but you shouldn't never knock a person that's actually trying to do this. And one thing you want to, exactly, if you don't upgrade your mentality, you won't be able to, you'll be misdiagnosing your kids' root problems. That's a gem for all the parents out there listening to this. If you don't upgrade your mentality, you'll be misdiagnosing your kids' root problems. Take that with you.
Absolutely.
Indeed. Yeah. And I mean, that's another thing that just keeps me going because I like helping children, and I just think about what kind of world it is for children to grow up in. And I knew it would get worse and worse, and it has. I mean, I just imagine what it is to be a 5-year-old in the time of the COVID pandemic, starting school, where you're just learning to always wear a mask and be afraid of everybody. They could be a germ monster. There could be a mass shooter in my school. I mean, these are the thoughts that are in every child's head that's young and impressionable, who's being taught to believe what the authorities tell them. It's just nonstop fear from every angle. Yep. And like I said, before you know it, that 5-year-old is going to be an 18-year-old, and they're going to grow up with all this fear and this idea that they should give up at their rights and liberties to be kept safe. And they're the ones that are going to enslave us. I mean,
and wearing the mask in general, I'd imagine that was a way to make them feel like, they're ugly and stuff like that with themselves, because they're like, oh, why am I having to wear this mask? They don't completely understand anything, you know what I mean? And then having to be forced to wear that, it's just insane, man. Like, we live in some crazy times, and a lot of people just don't want to hear it. They want to live in their own bubble. They want to do their own thing. They want to just watch these sports, drink and whatever else. They don't care about this knowledge. And then before it's gonna be too late, and then they're gonna be like, oh man, I should have listened.
Exactly. A lot of people are
People
gonna wake
think
up.
everything they present to us is in our best interest. Like the mask thing you said, I used to tell people all the time. Like what I think I've heard Zach call it once, like a muzzle or something. It really is, man. It's not there to protect you or protect you from COVID.
There to weaken your immune
system.
It weakens your immune system, man. That's all it is there for.
Exactly.
You strengthen your immune system by putting a little dirt on your face, eating a little bit of bacteria, maybe, That's how you build your immune system,
It's another branding point, just like Nike. Nike's not there to be the biggest company it can be. It's there to gerrymander. It's there as an influence.
Well, yeah, they're selling sweatshirts for $150. Who the hell's going to buy a sweatshirt with a Nike for $150,
You'd be surprised.
Zach pointed out earlier in the day about the
yeah, I know. Yeah, that's why. Yeah, exactly.
It's ridiculous.
I appreciate this guy, man.
It's ridiculous. It's crazy.
Yeah, it definitely is.
I appreciate you letting us come on, Zach, man. I really do.
I do too, Zach. Check out my channel, guys, too, if you don't care, man. True Seeker. And Zach, I'm going to get out of here, man. I know you probably got a lot of stuff going on. And, sweet lady's probably like ready for you to get off too. So,
well, she's talking to her foster mom in the background. That's why I'm going on too. So I'm like, well, as long as she's on the phone, I'll keep on here. But thank you guys for coming on. I appreciate it.
Hey, much love, Zach. We got to do another one of these here soon, man. You take care.
All right. Yeah. Try to get back to the Sunday night streams. Appreciate it.
Yeah. Thank you. Thanks.
Yeah, you're welcome.
I'll stick around a couple more minutes if you're going to be on for a couple more minutes.
Yo, Zach, is there any way to keep in contact with you, like easier than just when you go live at night and having to call in, or you don't do that kind of thing?
You mean just like have a regularly scheduled show so everybody knows when to come on?
Yeah, or do you have?
That's what I should start doing. I should just come on every day at the same time so people know when to check in, even if they don't get a notification.
Oh, okay. Or I didn't know if you had like a group chat or anything to just, just bounce ideas off of you sometimes. But it's fine. I was just wondering.
Yeah. I'll look into doing that, just being on at the same time so we can do more shows like this.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Okay. Yeah. AJ, you've been in the room, but you haven't said a lot so far. What's up?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
All right, so I had an idea when you talk about getting the word out, right?
Yeah.
So I was thinking you make like a goal. I don't know how you would do this, but like a pool, right? And you put all the people who are taking advantage of the picks, right? And you have them like put a percentage of their winnings in there, and then maybe you can purchase a slot for a commercial, right? On like a big game.
Okay.
Maybe try to I don't know whether for your website or something like, I think because like you said, everybody watches TV, so that would be a way to get it through the TV to get.
Yeah, people. Zach's commercial will come on at 4:30 in the morning when no one's watching it. That's
well, you would have to obviously be expensive, but that's what I'm saying. You get a bunch of people who take advantage of the picks, right? They're getting money anyway. They put a small percentage in there. You build it up. You buy a slot for a big game, and I think it might be able to.
They got to approve your commercial, though. I doubt they would play our commercial.
They wouldn't want to spoil their party, man.
Well,
maybe in 30 years when the cat's out the bag. And
it's a great idea. It's a great idea, but again, I highly doubt they would ever accept our commercial because that's also part of the commercial process. They'll only play your commercial if they approve it.
Yeah, I understand you have to get approved and stuff, but maybe you start with something that's not so you don't all right, so the website I guess is would be too much. They wouldn't approve that, but maybe start with something smaller, right? Just get people hooked in, Well,
that's what he does every day with the YouTube channel, At least he tries to.
Yeah, but he needs something that can be on TV to get people interested in.
I think the money could be used to probably be a little better, if I'm being honest, than some bogus commercial. Well, not a bogus commercial, but there's a very slim chance, in my opinion, of it ever getting approved. Or you put too much truth in there, they ain't gonna do nothing with it. So I think the money could be used it's going
Like
for
I say, it's like we need 15 full-time employees at least, 5 in each of the major cities, like 5 in 3 major cities that just go full-time each day and go out and like pound pavement and try to
Yeah.
wake up people and talk about what's going on in the news. Same thing we do
Yeah.
every day. And imagine that they have like some fancy Gematria Effect news van that has like some kind of side that's like a computer screen where they can do like the live Gematria decodes. Like that's what we needed parked behind us in LA, some kind of screen projector so I can show them out Kobe Bryant equals 41 and read out the list. And then say, look, if you just run the alphabetical order in reverse, 157 dies on his 157th day of his age. We need actual tools and people that are totally dedicated to the cause, that are going full time. And I mean, really, we need more than 15 full-time employees. We need like 5 full-time employees in every major city.
Yeah.
Anytime something big happens in the news, you got all the news out there. We need Gematria Effect News out there with the real story.
Yep. Exactly.
We don't need, look, our guys don't have to stand around and look in their cell phone to get what the latest from the New York headquarters to report in the microphone live from Louisville or whatever it is. It's like, look, we already see the bullshit they're doing. We can break it down on the spot.
Yep.
So.
Yep. That'd be good money there.
Yeah, and by the way, I mean, if people were generous, there's been so much money made in this community over the last decade off sports picks, and again, it's just like there was a dentist in this community who made a fortune, and he even made $300 and some thousand on Super Bowl 53 alone, and I mean, there's a lot of people in this community who could make greater donations. I don't want to hate on that guy, but when he won $300 and some thousand, he thanked me for those winnings. He's already rich, and he tipped me $1,000, and $1,000's a nice tip. But shit, he won over $350,000. So what percentage of that is 1,000? You know what I mean? So I mean, there's a lot of people who could put a lot more money in, who've made a lot of money on this community. But at the end of the day, a lot of people are greedy. So again, I mean, it's just like guys, they'll come around because they only want to do March Madness or the football season, and they'll pledge those $5 over those 4 or 5 months. But then they can't pledge $5 in the off months. And then that's where I'm like, maybe I should just raise the price, man. I mean, but yeah, again, what we really need is just people, like I said, there should easily be 1 million people in the world who speak English, who can resonate with the message I'm putting on this channel and its importance. And they should pledge $1 a month so that we got 1 million coming in every month to hire a team of people to do exactly what I'm saying.
Yeah, I think you could possibly get some volunteers, like not even have to be paid employees. I think, the only thing you have to pay for would be, obviously, like you said, like a news van, but like I think you can get volunteer workers, honestly.
Yeah, you can get volunteers, but volunteers also will, show up some days and some days they won't. I mean, you have people paid that it's their job, then they're out there doing it. So yeah, we need more than volunteers, and we need people who are good at doing this and people who can speak. I mean, we need to make more clones of me, but more entertaining versions of me. We need like people who can go out there and rap and sing and do things that will actually make other people stop and listen.
Yeah.
But people do stop and listen. It's just like, I still remember the way like this one lady turned around and like looked at me like she was shocked, but then she listened for a long time because I was talking about, should we even be marching into sports stadiums right now to watch games based on what's going on in this country right now? All the homeless, all the stuff going on. This lady just stopped and like looked like she hadn't thought about that question. That's why there needs to be more people out there doing that, because those seeds need to be planted.
Yep.
She looked like it was just like the most foreign concept, but then it caught her. So anyway.
Yep.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
You say most of your audience is older, right? So 30, 50.
Well, I don't know. That's just what the YouTube demographics say. I mean, look at all you guys. None of you guys seem 30 to 50. So is it even true? I mean, I'm just going off the stats that they relay to me. It doesn't mean any of it's correct.
Yeah, I'd say a lot younger than that.
Yeah, I was just going to suggest, if you want to like get the younger audiences, like obviously sports is like the biggest thing, but the next thing would be like celebrities and, rappers and music artists. Like those topics will bring in a lot of young people. Like I'm sure you already do. Like I'm pretty new here, but like I think that's the biggest attraction.
Cover every day. Cover that stuff every day. Celebrities, rappers, everything you name, man. He's on top of it.
Yeah.
No different.
I'm pretty new, so I see mostly like political stuff lately. But I just want to say, like, I think you'll get a big young audience if you do that stuff in addition.
Yeah.
Sure, and I do all that stuff. I mean, we've covered every rap death that's happened. So every hip hop death, every tabloid story. It's
Yep.
just you cover those things when they happen. I mean, what are some stories in the last week that you think I should have covered? Maybe I missed them.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't have something this last week, but something I've been looking into recently was the when Kanye West decided to call out like his handler and stuff. And his
Yeah,
trainer.
and that lost me about. I couldn't even have comment on it. I just kept getting suspended. I lost like 5. I think I put up 7 videos on that and lost 5 of them. So.
Oh my God, suspended for that?
Yeah, I couldn't have an opinion on it. So, yeah, it's just annoying. I mean, that's the thing. A lot of my best videos aren't up anymore because they get taken down. And you're newer here. If you don't know, I used to have, I mean, I'm on GematriaEffectNews 25 because I lost 20 some channels. Back in 2016 and 2017, I used to be able to get 100,000 views on average. So now I can't get any views. The channels don't grow. I mean, this is super algorithm suppression. But yeah, it's just that's why it's frustrating too, is just it being all these years later and getting jack shit for views compared to what I used to get 6 years ago.
Yeah, it's
Yo, Zach.
definitely. Yeah, go ahead.
Are you on social media and things like that?
Well, what do you mean? Like Facebook, Twitter?
Instagram? Well, TikTok
I have
is,
Instagram, but I rarely use it because I hate how Instagram does videos in that little box. I don't record videos just for Instagram. So if you put another video on there, like the whole thing's cut off. So it's like the Instagram gimmick to get you to just use that platform. But yeah, I tried to use Instagram and I kept getting censored on there. So that also is, I mean, because it's Facebook and Instagram are like even worse than
one
censorship.
Oh wow.
So, but yeah, I do have it. I think the last thing I uploaded to Instagram was the little short Jesus Walks music video I did for Kanye showing how his mom died in the big Jesus ritual.
Speaking of music, I think one time I put in the comments once. It was a song that dropped last year by Jack Harlow and Drake called "Church Hills Down," and in the lyrics, Drake says, "I got enough pull to make the city start throwing games. I'm out here making a mockery." He literally says it in the song. I was like, wow.
Yeah. Well, don't forget they synced up the Toronto finals with him, you know?
Yep.
Kawhi signed with the Raptors the day his album came out, and then, you know, they win it in game 6. He calls Toronto the 6.
Yep.
So
Yep. And that's another thing. There's when they do them games and then the home crowd gets punked and there's 20,000 people in there on the verge of, you know, if you feel sick when you're really invested. I remember when I thought sports were real, you know, you'd feel sick to your stomach when your team loses, you know, let alone
you should see the Clippers fans coming out of the stadium last Saturday, man. They look like they all got punched in the face.
Yeah, swear to God.
All the Kings fans, and they just did it 3 games in a row, right? They punked the Kings home crowd in game 5. Then they punked the Warriors home crowd in game 6. Then they punked the Kings again in game 7. And all of those scores synced up with the day of the year. And the fans will go right back next year.
Yeah,
you know? It's
crazy. Yeah.
That's what I mean, man. It's just like America's addicted to shit. They're addicted to bad food. They're addicted to bad entertainment.
Yeah. Well, they did a good job of programming them. You know, let's be honest. They programmed them just how they wanted them.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. A society of literally useful idiots. I mean, that's what they've made. So
here's the thing that we also have to start peeping just subtly. With the Gematria, a team could have great numbers, a great narrative. But listen, man, with this sports betting getting so huge, if Vegas, all the money is going on one, if 90% is going on one team, 9 times out of 10, that narrative it just won't come through.
Right, because they're going to collect the money. They'll pay.
Yeah, it's about money too. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
That's why I say use the knowledge for real-time betting. It's just like today, the Warriors-Kings game to me was too hard to call before the game, but I said just wait for the halftime trick because it almost always hits. So you got to go with what's working. So I almost every game at halftime, there's a score that points to one team or the next. Sure enough, the Kings were up by 58-56. Well, no team has a 56 connection, but Golden State equals 58. And who won the game? Golden State. And that's
Golden State.
That will happen. that score thing hits, I would say it's probably just a hair under 80%, but a lot more often than not, if the score is pointing to a team, that team wins. And you know what? In 5 years from now, it might be just the opposite because things do change as time goes on, but that's the way it is right now. And that's exactly why I wrote it as I did today in the notes. I said, this game's too close to call. Wait for the halftime score. Winning advice. So,
yeah, the Florida Panthers, Florida Panthers were down 3-2 in the third period with like 2 minutes left or about a minute and a half left. And their live odds was like plus 1,000. And they come back to win it 4-3.
And
there was money to be made.
There was a game the other year. So I used to do hockey all the time, and there was a lawyer out in New Jersey. He's probably watching right now, mad that I'm not doing hockey because I made that guy a lot of money. But there was a game where I guaranteed San Jose was going to win. And I can't remember if they were down 3 goals or 4 goals, but the game was almost over. There was like no time left in the game, and I was like, fuck. Yep. And this guy – I felt bad because this lawyer bets a ton of money on the games, and I guaranteed him that they were going to win. Well, they did end up winning, but they were literally down like 3-0 or 4-0 with maybe like 4 minutes left in the game, and they literally came back and won the game. And I mean, it's just stupid. It's like, come on, man. That's how all sports have gotten. No lead is safe in the fourth quarter in the NBA. Be down 25 and come back and win. Yep. The NFL 25-point comebacks on 2-5. In the Super Bowl, I mean, fucking joke. Yeah. Baseball, nobody has a closer anymore. I can't tell you how many teams have been up like 5 runs going into the 9th and lost the game in the last few years ever since we got the new commissioner. That never happened when I was growing up. Like no team ever blew a 5-run lead in the bottom of the 9th ever until the new commissioner, and now it just happens all the time.
Yep.
Listen, when you gave that Jackie Robinson decode, I sent it to my friends. I had them all bet on the Dodgers. We got to the 9th inning. They were down 1-0. They were all spamming me. This isn't real. It's not happening.
It was so easy. I was like, watch, they're going to win 2-1. Jackie 21, and then sure enough.
Oh, my gosh. And listen, they had 1 out with nobody on base. So they were like, this is over. Why did you give us this pick? We lost our money. I'm like, just relax, bro. And what do you know? Somebody gets on base and then another dude.
David Peralta knocks in the winning runs. David Peralta equals 76 like Jackie Robinson Day, dropping the Cubs to 7-6 on the 76 Jackie Robinson Day. I mean, that's how they do it.
I've seen teams knock in like 5 or 6 runs with 2 outs on the board, and there go 5-6 runs. You know, it's ridiculous. Yeah. When I bet on baseball, like when my team starts off the inning with an out, I like that in baseball because that's usually when runs can come in like that when you don't expect it. And then it'll be vice versa. They'll start out the inning, bases loaded, no outs, come out the inning with 1 run. Bases loaded, no outs. They score 1 run in the inning. So it's. Yeah, when I bet on baseball, I like when my team starts out with a quick out in the inning because runs can come after that. So,
yeah, I mean, for anyone who understands baseball and has grown up playing and watching baseball, the sports just become so dumb. That's what finally woke up my dad to the fact the game's rigged because it's just like everything's backwards now. Back in the day, if you had runners on 2nd and 3rd with no outs, you were scoring at least 1 run in the inning. All the time it happens now in the MLB. Where that situation happens, you got runners on 2nd and 3rd, no outs, and no runs are scored.
No runs,
because they're taking advantage of all these real-time prop betting situations, and gamblers can't believe it. They're like, "What? How? I knew those odds were too good for 1 run," and then.
Yep.
Imagine explaining that to college students. They always tell me, "So you don't think Steph Curry can play this good in real life?" I'm not denying that. I've literally been in these training facilities. These guys can really they work hard. It's not nobody's saying
they can, man. Again, it's just like I went to high school with 2 professional athletes. Michael Roos, who was the left tackle for the Titans for a decade, but he was a basketball player in high school, and Derek Ravio, who was on the same team, who's a little bit younger, who was the point guard at Gonzaga. And Derek Ravio, he was skinny and couldn't play defense. So you could beat him one-on-one because he couldn't defend you because he was too small. I mean, he's tall but skinny. He just had no body. He was like a real-life toothpick. But he could literally make 10 3-pointers in a row like it was nothing. I mean, he could shoot the lights out. And he went on to set the free throw record for NCAA basketball. I mean, he was like he was the white version of Steph Curry. I mean, he could drain shots all day. You'd never beat him in horse. Yeah. But he didn't have the body for defense. So
is there any there any significance on the Panthers beating the Bruins? Because that's crazy. Bruins were up 3-1 in the series.
I didn't look at the hockey series, but I mean that's the kind of stuff they do too, right? So for people who missed it, the Bruins set the record with 63 wins on the 99th day of the year, April 9th. Record equals 63 forwards, 99 in reverse. And the Red Wings had the prior record. Red Wings is 99, and they were tied with Tampa for that record. And the year before, Boston had beaten Tampa 6-3, only to set the record the next year with 63 wins on the 99th day of the year. But I mean, that's the kind of stuff they do, right? Like it's like you get the record, but then you don't get the glory of the championship.
Yep.
So I'm sure there's something about that. I can look at the Boston Panthers series, but what was the game today?
Yeah, the last game was today, and that's what I was saying a minute ago. Florida was down 3-2 with like a minute and a half left, and then they end up winning in overtime. But their live odds were like plus 1,000. So there is money to be made out there.
I see they won 4-3. Isn't that the gematria for Panthers and Bruins? 43. Panthers is 43. Bruins is 43. So there you go. 4-3.
And it's another home crowd punking. Look at that. Yeah. Surprise there. There's today demons. I think there's energy demons. I think they harvest that energy when 15, 20,000 people.
It's all energy harvest.
There's people in there. There's literal half human, probably half something else that are just, breathing in all that negative energy, and it gives them life.
Look at the commissioner. I don't know who the commissioner of hockey is right now, but it's Adam Silver. Why am I calling him David? Oh, I'm confusing him with David Stern. But I mean, just look at fucking Adam Silver. Like, is that even a human being? I mean,
right.
That is the weirdest looking guy there ever was.
Yeah.
And
but
this shit is all energy harvesting.
Yeah. Yep.
Today's 21 days after the Bruins set the record. Sunday and Jesuit are 21. So they set the record 21 days ago. Then they're eliminated 21 days later. And I'm just thinking about what else could be in this record. The series decided 4-3 with a score of 4-3. That was like Boston the other day became 8-7 at home, winning the game 8-7.
Yep.
Yeah, so Boston, okay. Yeah, I didn't do a lot of work on the hockey season, so I'm not sure what the significance is of the Panthers season. Or I'm sure there's a ritual to it, but the 21 days after they set the record does stand out to me.
Yeah, there's always a ritual. There's always something there,
Yeah, let me see what season number the Panthers are in the Bruins. Panthers are in their 29th season, and the Bruins are in their 98th season.
Yeah.
It was their 75th playoff appearance. Panthers, it's their 8th. Let me see.
It's only the 8th game for the Panthers in the playoffs in 23 years?
Not 8th game, but just 8th time they've been in the playoffs.
Okay.
They got their so the Panthers, it's their 29th season. They got their 29th win in the playoffs today. So that's interesting. To win the series, number 29. They got their 13th road win today. It's interesting because it's the 120th day of the year, Illuminati number, founded with 13 families. Tomorrow's the anniversary of their establishment. Let's see. Oh, that's the other thing that they did. The Panthers stayed on 22 losses on the road in Boston. Huge Boston number. So that's what I'm always teaching with Boston. If there's a 22 in Boston, play it. So the Panthers stayed on 22 losses in Boston. Remember last year, Boston was in their 22nd championship in the NBA in the 2022 season.
Yep.
But yeah, so like that would have stood out to me. Had I looked at it, I'd be like, well, they could stay on 22 losses in Boston. So that stands out. Let's see what the Bruins playoff record is. They got a lot more playoff record. I don't know, nothing screaming out about their record on the surface, but staying on 22 losses in Boston, that's a familiar pattern. So,
Yep. Yep.
okay.
Sometimes I'll bet on a team just because they're away, honestly.
Just to punk the home crowd. Yeah, they love
Yeah.
to do it.
Yeah. Sometimes I'll bet on them just because they're away, harvest that energy in there. Drink your $8 beers,
Yeah.
And
I'm sure all the Boston fans are shocked. They're like, how can that happen? We're the greatest team ever.
Yeah, but they'll be back next year, Zach.
We're the greatest team ever. How'd we lose?
Yep. They'll be back.
Yeah.
Yep. Absolutely.
Okay. All right. Well, if we don't have anything more to add, we can all go through the people here and have a final word, and we can wrap it up.
Yeah, sure. Sounds good to me.
All right, we'll go in the order people got here. Joshua Golden, if you want the first closing statement, then shout out to Gematria and then AJ. Joshua? Anything you want to say to close us out?
Me now?
Yeah,
Can you hear me now?
Uh-huh.
I just want to say thank you, Zach. I appreciate you having me, man.
Yeah, you're welcome. It's good to be young and awake. Enjoy the youth.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You have a good one.
All right, yeah, you too. All right, shout out to Gematria.
Yeah, I guess I just have a couple things I wanted to mention from earlier about the going away from the paper money and coins and stuff. Back when COVID was at the hype of it, there was a coin shortage here in Nebraska. I don't know if that was everywhere, but
It was everywhere. That was everywhere. No,
Okay.
good reminder.
Yeah, so there was a coin shortage. So they've kind of already started test running, what it would be like without bills and coins and stuff. And I remember going to the store and oh, you got to pay with your card, or we need exact change. We don't have any coins in our register. So, they have already been kind of experimenting with this. So it's coming, guys. It's coming.
They gave us all kinds of hints because they also talked about how the germs can spread on the money. So,
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I talked about that in my book that I put out in 2020, how they're signaling the end of physical cash.
Yep. They've already done some practice runs with that. Yeah, I guess I don't really have much more to add, but just everybody out there, if you can wake up one person, you did your job. Me, like I said earlier, when I'm out with my brother and I see people with sports jerseys or sweaters on, whatever, I'll straight up tell them the games are fake. And I don't mind spending 15, 20 minutes talking to somebody, and, because I feel good about myself if I can help somebody, plant that seed or whatever. So that'd be my message to anybody listening. Just, do what makes you happy and do what you think is right. And that's what I live by. Just be a good person, man. That's all it is.
Indeed. Yeah, those are good rules to live by. All right. Well, I appreciate it, man. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for having me on again, Zach. I appreciate it. And like we said earlier, if you can get a dedicated time, maybe 3 times a week or 4 times a week, whatever, that you come on, that'd be nice too. So.
Indeed. Yeah, I think I'm going to do that. It makes sense.
Right on, Zach. We'll take care, man. Thanks for having me on.
All right. Yeah, you too. Have a good night.
Yep. Peace.
Thanks. All right, True Seeker. I did put the link in the chat a few more times because I thought other people want to join, but we didn't have anyone else join. So I think we'll leave it there for tonight. And again, thank you to the super chatters. Let me say thank you to the super chatters real quick. Somebody got super generous tonight. She put the super in super chat. Rayak Pizza, thank you for chipping in. Danny Garcia Jr., thank you for chipping in. He said, sports ain't rigged, but the Panthers somehow beat the Boston Bruins. Okay. Yeah. Danny Garcia Jr. chipped in again. Coley chipped in, said, awareness is everything. Throw away the TV, or at the very least, absorbing the news and observe. Yeah, again, you take away these technology devices that are controlling the minds of the masses, we live in a different society. You see why that thing was really here. And again, for people who weren't here in the beginning, some of my earliest research was just showing simple things like how all of the original news anchors were military trained, proving that we live in this giant military strategic empire. Almost everything boils down to military. Holly Winchell set new records that will probably never be broken for super chats tonight. Thank you very much, Holly. Again, she asked about Rihanna at Super Bowl 57. Remember, Rambo predicted that Rihanna would be the Super Bowl 57 halftime performer many months before it was announced because she was pregnant and the word birth equals 57. And again, he tied in Barbados and their flag and what they had to do with the Queen, who died on the first day of the season. So, again, it's about birthing this new thing that we're seeing coming into fruition in the world, this new control system, this new world order that's growing further and further. Again, I mean, we really saw it in the time of COVID, right? Like the whole world was doing the same thing. Lockdowns, masks, jabs, surveillance, Yeah, right. The Matrix chipped in with a big 50, said, knowing isn't doing, and that's the problem. People want to know, not do and change. Too much chatter, not enough to matter to get up off their bottom. Yeah, again, there's not enough doers in the world. We need more action, you guys. I mean, we can't just have knowledge and spectate. We can't just be afraid of going out and participating and that we're going to get in some government database. I mean, yeah, there's things that there are consequences to speaking out and going against the authority, but there's going to be greater consequences if we don't do something about the authority and the path they have us all on. Holly also said, I know I'm not here all the time, but your perspective on gematria has opened my eyes to a lot of things, and I have found a lot of connections that I wouldn't have otherwise. Indeed. I mean, again, I when I started researching this topic, when I started researching this topic, I thought this was like some kind of knowledge that was just used for big things like 9/11. And I was like, oh my God, they're doing this every day. Oh my God, the sports games are number rituals. Wow. Okay. And again, this is the knowledge to connect the dots. DMS chipped in. All the answers are within. People think too much. Great book to read is 3 Magic Words. Love you, Zach. Keep up the good work. Thank you. Never give up. Chipped in. He said, I expect a Lakers championship Jordan ritual. Again, the only thing that really makes me think that Kobe could be dead is Jordan. Because if you remember at Kobe's memorial, Jordan cried so hard. And Jordan wasn't in that many movies, was he? Space Jam? I can't think of what other ones they put him in. But yeah, again, just watch what happens in the Lakers home game on May 6th for King Charles' coronation. That game's going to tell you probably all you need to know. Is Kinfolk controlled op? Again, I don't even want to complain about Kinfolk because at least he's getting gematria out there, but I wish he would start his decodes at a place that made sense and always instead of some like obscure point. He is good with his video editing, though. He does make a nice video. Holly also said, I worked in the pharmaceutical industry for 25 plus years and was privy to the research going into new drugs, scary stuff. Not saying people shouldn't take life-saving medications, but there are certainly questions. If you weren't here earlier, I brought up Stanton. You might want to look into that one if you're on it. John Mendoza chipped in. Never give up chipped in again. Noob training in Houston on the Illuminati's birthday, 5-1. Barbara chipped in. Thank you again, Barbara. Holly chipped in again. Stephen Shields chipped in. Thank you, Stephen. Paula, the Kitchen Witch, chipped in. Oh, that was earlier. But, yeah, again, thank you to everybody. People got super generous. And hold on. We'll give out Truth Does Not Exist wants to jump on here to close us out. What's up? What's up, buddy?
Hey, Zach. So I was thinking, especially after LA and hitting all the sports people, I don't know if that's specifically the right crowd. I mean, I totally think that we should get out the word for people, but I just don't think that they're very intelligent, like that crowd that are going to be spending like $300 on a game. It's like, it's they could just watch at home and like, it's like, I don't, and like all the people
Well,
with the
where's an
reaction.
intelligent group of people outside a bookstore? Those hardly exist anymore. But yeah,
Exactly.
no, I
But
agree. There could be better places to rally, like outside of a bookstore, but those are few and far between.
I think that they're dumber than the average population. You know what I'm saying? Not. I mean, yeah, you're not gonna find intelligent people pretty much anywhere, but you know, just like a place where normal people gather. I mean, I've been thinking about it, like what would be the perfect place, and I think that that's probably the problem. Because these sporting events are easy to target. You know, it's like there's gonna be a bunch of people there. The problem is just that they're a bunch of dumb people. But um, yeah, I guess that we should just probably start trying to figure out how to reach people. Maybe on the internet we could do internet ads because I don't think anybody even watches TV anymore. But um, yeah, I guess we just have to think about how we can start reaching people. But I think in LA, like reaching people on the pier and stuff like that, that was pretty good because those you're reaching a broad crowd. You know, they're probably gonna be average people. Um, I don't know if the sporting events are really a good idea. You know, it's probably just gonna be a similar reaction like what
Well,
we
that's
got
where
last
America
time.
is. We got to wake up America. So I think it is the right place. Um, Again, we did plant a lot of seeds there, but yeah, there are just a lot of dummies that they don't get it yet. But like I said, you got to imagine the vision of everybody being outside every sports stadium doing this. Then the buzz would get out, and people be like, "Wait a minute, maybe I need to look into this more." So
Yeah, I remember talking to a lady and she said that you know we were explaining how sports were rigged. I don't remember exactly what kind of sport it was, but um, she was like, "Oh well, I can't believe that. Like, oh, these games are too important to me." It's like I just I don't know. I just can't understand like why anybody would want to put like so much important on a game. It's like you know, it's on a fucking children's game. You know, it's just it's insanity and like I don't know how people don't see how these games are rigged because it's like the law of averages is that the people who win are just going to keep winning. It's like on every fucking game, it's like you have all these underdogs winning and it's like they're beating all the all-star teams. It's like that never happens in real life. It's like when schools are playing against each other, the team that, you know, the school that has like a bunch of like wimpy kids that suck, you know, they're never going to beat the school where the all the kids are know how to play, you know. It's like that's pretty much never going to happen. It's going to happen like one time every like 20 years, you know. But of course in sports it doesn't happen like that. It's like it's the odds are like even, you know. It's like and it doesn't like it just doesn't life doesn't work that way. That's not reality, you know. It's fucking scripted.
yeah, yeah. Um, but yeah, I mean, I hear what you're saying, and there are better places to get people to engage. Like again, when we were outside New York at the bookstore, we got a high percentage
Yeah.
of people to stop what they were doing and listening because people go to bookstores are the types of people that are seeking information.
Yeah,
Um,
exactly.
but yeah, we also got to get the common people in there at the sports game. And again, I
Yeah.
mean, it's good because it's just like one of the interactions I had as a guy walked up to me and was like, "What are you, some kind of like cult leader?" And I said to him, he was like wearing a LeBron James jersey. And I said, it's funny you asked that because I said, look at you, you're wearing another man's name on your back. And then I started making the point about Kobe. I said, isn't that like what you think of when you think of cults, like human ritual sacrifice? I said, maybe you're part of a cult and you don't even realize it. So
Well,
anyway,
yeah, I
that's the reason we
also
got to be out there to have those kind of engagements.
yeah. I downloaded your Gematria Effect 24 channel, 23 channel, 22 channel, all those channels I have, and your 25 channel too.
Thank you.
And most of your I have like I think 100 of your Gematria Effect Sports channel. It's just that's 1.3 thousand videos, so I haven't like clicked on it to add to the playlist so I can download it. But yeah, and I oh god, what was the other thing I wanted to say? Um, I guess I'll just end it there because I know you want to get off. So thanks for having me on.
All right, buddy. Appreciate it.
All right, yeah, of course. See you.
All right. All right. I'm waiting for Yeah Right the Matrix to come on here and give his rant about people getting off their ass and doing more. But I did notice in the past week that Jay Inslee up here in Washington State, they finally got it through. They got the new assault weapons ban in Washington State, the 10th state to have an assault weapons ban. And let's see. It says, surrounded by gun reform advocates, Washington Governor Jay Inslee signed 3 new gun control bills Tuesday morning. Let me think. 28th was Friday, 27th Thursday, 26th Wednesday, 25th Tuesdays. All right, 25, 26, 27. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Yeah, it was the 25th. April 25th, including a ban on the import and sale of high-capacity and semi-automatic firearms. The new ban went into effect the moment the governor signed the bill. Okay, Strom Peterson was who introduced it. Hold on. I meant to look at this. I'm just going to do it in real time to close this thing out. I'm anticipating more gun control news tomorrow. Let's see. All right, so this started on March 8th was the day that the voting started. Assault weapons ban 50 like Washington, like gun control like Jesuits. The bill was first read January 11th. First reading March 8th. That means, what is that? That's the 67th day of the year. So a span of 4. Nice. I see what they did. Isn't it sick, you guys? Look, March 8th, 2023, and then he signed to April 25th, 2023. That's a total span of 49 days. 49 in Washington state. Look at gun control in Washington. Washington, 4950. Gun control, 4950. Tomorrow has 49 date numerology. How nice. From the first vote to the day he signed the gun control legislation in Washington state, a span of 49 days. It makes me sick how many sellouts there are on the YouTube platform that try and act like they care about what's going on in the world, but then at the same time talk shit about my work, which actually proves what's going on. As we talk about the same patterns over and over. Nice. A span of 49 days. And again, notice assault weapons ban 103 like Jesuits. The guy who introduced it, Strom Peterson, his full name 103. And look, Rep. Strom Peterson, a longtime advocate for the bill in the legislature. I'm going to have to drive out to the Capitol. I got to drive to University of Idaho and to the Capitol. I might do it both this week. I wish they were on the same route. One's 3 hours that way, over 3 hours, and the other one's over 3 hours that way. So I got to go both ways. But I got to go to University of Idaho and call out what they did on King Road with the news on the King's birthday with the murders. And then the killer from apartment 201 traced back to Scranton, Pennsylvania, Joe Biden's hometown, home of The Office that ran 201 episodes. But yeah, it's just a joke, man. Just nonstop ritual. Nonstop ritual. All day, every day. From the first vote to the governor's signature, a span of 49 days. Perfect. Okay. All right. I guess, yeah, right. The Matrix doesn't want to come on. He said drop the link earlier like he was going to join. I want him to come on here and rant about how we need more people to participate. I'm always ranting about the same things. Oh, shit. I don't have the thing up here on the screen for you to even see what I'm trying to show. All right, here. Again, you guys, notice. Washington, this is my post from about the March 8th first reading of the assault weapons ban in Washington state. Again, assault weapons ban is 50 like Washington, like gun control, like Jesuits. From the day of the first reading to the first vote, 56 days. And again, they ended up signing 3 bills. 3 has that gematria 56 as well. Assault weapons ban 103 like Jesuits. The guy who led the charge is from the 21st district, Jesuit 21. But his name is 103. And again, from the March 8th vote to the governor signing on April 25th, a span of 49 days. And again, gun control, 49 forwards, 50 in reverse, just like Washington. And this is Washington State. So, again, it's a ritual. Everything they do is ritualism. They got rituals in the news to dupe people into thinking this is the right thing that our government should be doing. And then they got a ritual for how they pass the legislation. It just goes to show the same Kabbalistic tactics from state government to federal government. Somehow people are, again, I mean, I'm just talking about the same patterns over and over. Here he is. Yeah, right, the Matrix. Is it the real one?
What's up, Zach?
It is the real one. Okay.
What's up?
Yeah. Yeah. Say what you were saying in the chat.
Well, you know how I feel about the no excuse to come out. But there is excuses, you know. But I mean, you know, we've been doing this a long time. I was actually talking about this the other day. I mean, how much longer are we gonna do this shit? You know what I'm saying? Like on the internet, you know, and I mean, it's to the point where, you know, it's like we're beating a dead horse. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just getting. It seems like more people are waking up, but it's like it's still nobody's coming together. Nobody's really doing anything, and you know, like I feel your frustration. You know, it's like everybody just sitting on their ass waiting for something. You know what I mean?
They're
So
either waiting for Jesus or they're waiting for the overgrown man who paints himself orange.
right, or they're too, you know, caught up in their new higher understanding and consciousness where they just don't want to be around nobody. So that's another big problem. People get into this awakening and then they go so far and they're just too good to be around anybody because, you know, and it's just all the same ass energy. You know, there's this energy that's keeping people stagnant here, you know, like watching, doing nothing, escaping through other people. You know, a lot of people, believe it or not, Zach, they escape through you. That's why they're not coming out, is because you give them enough hope that it's like a, you know, it's like you know, like a Trump thing or a Jesus thing. You give them enough hope that things will change and people will wake up. So they just remain docile, sitting around, watching, you know, waiting for you to post the next video, you know, so they can feel better about themselves. You know what I mean? To keep going in the same shithole that we're in. You know what I mean? So there's a lot of things that doing this long enough, you know, for so many years, you just see, you know. I mean, when I first came, I mean, the minute I first videos was about, wow, there's people like me. Shit, we need to come together. Fuck this internet thing. My thing was use the internet to network and create some type of unity, no matter what the fuck it is, and we'll be so powerful. But fast forward to today, and that was like what 2010, you know, whatever the hell it was, 2009, 10, 11, or some shit like that. And look where we're at, 2023. I mean, what is anybody doing? You know what I mean? I mean, you're putting in work, but look at all these other, you know, channels and people and stuff like that, you know?
People have to be willing to take the risk of breaking away from their slave job for a day. Because
Yeah.
as we're talking about this, I'm reminded of somebody who actually surprised me. I was surprised that they couldn't come out in Detroit because they had their slave job. And I thought, wait a minute, this is somebody who does YouTube videos who's ranting about how fucked up the world is. But then when it comes down to it, a chance to come out and pound payment, the slave job was more important.
Yeah. You know,
So
that's another thing is, I mean, right now, I don't know who's gonna get fired from a job. Seriously. So if I mean some of these things are months, like September 11th is a year, and people say, "Oh, I want to come out," and then when it gets around the time, you hear crickets. You know what I mean? It's like Okay, I get, certain serious things could come up, but it's like a job at this point in 2023. I mean, fucking nobody's losing a job. They can't even fucking find anybody. It's like it's too many excuses, not enough doing, too many people just hoping, waiting for somebody else to, you know, and shout out to the people that do, come out and do go that extra mile, and you know what I mean? You can't take that away, you know what I'm saying?
You know what we have to do? We have to get a big group of people to show up at every fucking Trump event on the campaign trail. Because the thing about the Trump people is they believe way too much in their orange messiah, but they're the percentage of the population that see that things are really bad.
Right.
And like they're on most of the same page as like most of us in this community, but then they think Orange Messiah Man's gonna fix it when he's
Mm-hmm.
part of the
Right.
same wall. We got to figure out how to, like, if we could get all these Trump people to get on board with where we're at and not participating in the system, but exposing it and trying to change it. I mean, there's a big enough group in the Orange Man camp to actually do something.
Yeah,
So
I agree. I've been out there, with the Trumpers before, I've been to the convoy in Hagerstown for 3 days. I spent 3 days with these people. You had Trumpers, Christians, QAnon people, just people who like freedom. It was just a beautiful thing. And the one thing about the Trumpers, even the Rainbow Club, they get together off the internet. They use the internet to network, come together, and they do shit off the internet. This is why everything's so fucked up right now, is because they figured it out. How can the lower, just the stupidity of society and the brainwashed society figure out coming together, but we that supposedly know all this shit can't just figure out the simplest thing, come together. You got all these different platforms that are so-called truthers but can't come together, but you got all these other people that we look down upon. Well, they play politics, or they do this, or they do that, or they do that. But guess what? Off the internet, they're doing real shit. you know these Rainbow Club fucking people, you know what I'm talking about. They're out here in our communities fucking up our schools, getting into our schools, brainwashing our kids. I mean, it's out of control, but people want to sit here on the internet and just watch the whole shit show. And everybody knows, we all know what the fuck's going on. Everybody wants to, oh, look at this, look at that, look what they're doing over here. Oh, look, a shooting. Oh, it's fake. Oh, it's this, it's that. Oh, we already fucking know how long we gonna keep doing this shit. You know what I mean? If we have to get off the internet. And when you're out there pounding pavement, I mean, it shows. It does show. It works. It is effective. It's small, but it's a start. And it is effective. To me, it's very effective. Like the one guy said about the sports stadium, 30,000, 20,000 people going to a fucking sports stadium. There's people listening. I don't care what anybody says. Not everybody is totally shut off. There's people. I mean, hell, if somebody gave me tickets, I might go to a fucking game. Fuck it, I got free tickets. I'm gonna go to a game. You know what I mean? It's like you can't look. People, what people wake up, they want to throw everybody off away. No, what are you talking about? I mean, that's, you might as well, put a mask on and go in the house.
here, just to go to their point, if we could only have one day a year to have a mass gathering at a certain event, what do you think would be the most effective thing to do?
I mean, shit. I mean, it's got to be a multiple of things, because one event. I mean, what would be one?
I agree, but like, what would be what would be like the keystone event, the one where we'd have the most impact?
I don't know, man. That's a hard one, because it depends on the location. What it is. I think that campaign trail shit would be really something. You know what I mean?
I think that's what needs to happen.
That
Getting everybody to show up at the Trump rallies and talk about what a stooge this guy is.
Yeah, and in a positive way, with knowledge, let them know, like, okay, look at this, look at that, because these people, they have the liberal energy. They're going to shut you off. They're going to try to dismiss you. They're going to want, they have the same energy but opposite polarity. It's all the same damn energy. Because you talk to some of these Trump people, they ain't gonna understand. Once
Did you see the one at the pier? Did you see the Trump lady we engaged with in California?
I might have missed that part.
She had a conniption.
Yeah,
She couldn't even listen. She couldn't even listen.
yeah, that's what
She's like, you don't even know that Michelle is Michael. I was like, can you let me say anything? Like, I couldn't even get a word, and she's just spouting off all this shit. I was just like, this person's fucking nuts.
yeah, it's the same fucking energy, man. It's the same energy. It's like you talk to a Christian about Jesus, you're gonna
She
get
was a Christian. That's where she first came out. She's like, I'm a Christian for Trump. I was like, oh yeah, there's another Christian for Trump, Mr. Vega, the highest degree of Satanism. It just shows you how ass backwards you are.
Yeah. So I mean the event. I mean, I don't know. I mean, September 11th is good, but it's more like now it's just, it's kind of like, it's just being in New York City because there's a lot of people, September 11th type thing. But an event, I mean, sports event, a Super Bowl. I mean, if anybody's going to those games, they're hyped up and jacked up off the Super Bowl. So, it's kind of like a little difficult. That's the other thing, flip side with the sports. People are so worked up about their team, they a lot of people have shut it off, but shit coming out of there, deflated in the press after a loss, I seen people start to gather around and listen, so I don't know what would be effective right now. Like where a lot of people are. I mean, I try to think, but shit, it has to be like events that involve politics, because that's the type of people that you're going to get all sides, all angles, all kind of controversies, especially going forward. So that would probably be the most effective, because you're going to get both sides. I think that going into that if that could happen, that would be great, because you're going to have the right, left, up, down Christians. You're going to have all kind of shit, because I've been to some of these Trump rallies, and you have all kind of people protesting all kind of different shit. And I've been to some in Florida. You're going to see Antifa, you're going to see Trumpers, you're going to see people in the middle, you're going to see Christians that don't like Trump, you're going to see blacks for Trump, you're going to see all kind of crazy shit, Mexicans from Trump, you're going to see the Chinese group that is for Trump. And it's like, these people, they're good people. They will listen and talk, So I mean, those would be the key to get enough people out there. You know what I mean? So I mean, it's coming around. I mean, the campaign trails are going to be starting pretty. When do they usually start? A year before?
Well, the Republican primary will be decided sometime around next February, and then it gets real heavy after that.
Yeah, because they're going to be bussing. The Democrats got billions to be bussing fucking people around New York State. They passed a law where it's called anti-hate speech, and what they're doing is they will organize a team to rally against people hate speech, which they're preparing for, the Trump run, when he runs, to send buses of their people to be, have that back and forth. You know what I mean? Kathy asked that last year, 2022, and they're going to put that shit into motion. So, they will be gathering these radical ass, rainbow fucking crowd. So they're gonna, and from now to then, you got the gun control, you got all this shit, you got the battle with this gay shit in schools that's getting real heavy. I know it's real heavy here in Rochester. I know it's real heavy down in Texas, Florida. So,
Sure. Here, and just to make a point about, you said, the Rainbow Alphabet Club comes out. I mean, part of the reason that they're motivated to come out, just to be real, is because they all know they're going to meet new people to fuck that night. I mean, if you've ever been out to the gay clubs, they got a new partner every night. So, I mean, that's part of the motivation for them to come out.
Plus,
our motivation to come out is to say we fucking stood up for what was right and at least made an effort trying to change things for the better. So, and you know what? You might actually meet a significant other, and who knows, maybe you'll even get some action that night. But I mean, that's also happened. It's not going to happen on the scale of the gay boys, but
Yeah, I mean, these people, they're psychotic and they are brainwashed and they like to socialize. I mean, they're into socialism and communism. So that's the energy that brings them out. They're going to socialize. They're going to meet new people. They're going to network. I mean, that's just what they do. I've been out with these people, man. BLM protests. I've been to all this shit. You know that. And these people, man, they, you seen them in Buffalo. They tried to bring the BLM out there, but that shit didn't work. But they do come and they do gather, and they show their presence and look, it ends up on TV and people believe this shit. Imagine if 100 of us, 50 is a big group, but imagine 100 of us, any city at any time, anywhere. That's a lot of people, man. That's like 2 bus loads.
we should be able to bring out way more than that, though. We should be able to get way more people than that.
What I do is I shoot low and hope high. I mean, at least 100. I mean, it should be honestly thousands of people that come out. But
had we had 500 people there at LA, which should be a doable number, it would have made way more people stop and listen.
The news would have had to come out and say, why is there 500? The stadium would have said, why is there 5? They would have called the police. Why is there 500 people out here with this message? We need to, I don't know. They would have to, people would notice shit like that. And that's what people got to realize is you want change, you got to be the change, I mean, you can't just want it and just sit there like hope Jesus coming up, flying up the fucking sky or some weirdo politician's going to save you. You know what I mean?
What was the thing you wrote a little bit ago about knowledge and power? Knowledge doesn't have power without action.
Well, this is the thing. You know how they always say, oh, knowledge is power. Knowledge ain't fucking power. It's the power you put behind the knowledge that makes the knowledge powerful. And that's what people don't understand. You could have all the knowledge in the world, but if it ain't doing shit, it's worthless. You know what I'm saying? What is the good of knowing if you can't do anything with it? And that's been my thing is, what the fuck if I know this shit, I'm not doing anything with it. You know what I mean? And people have that concept wrong. They think because they know shit, yeah, I know this. All right, I'm going to share it on social media and I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. Meanwhile, they're physical, financially stable. They could move around if they wanted to, and they just don't do shit because that's enough for them. They know this and, they feel liberated. You know what I mean? So, I know one of the principles that I hold with me is shit. If I got knowledge, I want to do something with it, So people gotta, and then fear. Another one is fear. People gotta overcome the fear. I see people with you, and I get it and I'm respectful, but people come out, they don't want to be on camera. Like, I mean, there's cameras every fucking where, they don't want to be on camera. I mean, I get it, but at the end of the day, I really don't get it. If you're out there, you're out there. Fuck it. You're on camera. We're all on camera. There's live streams going on. Other people are taking pictures and photos. So, don't be afraid, and hey, I mean, it is what it is. It should be more people,
Yeah.
And one thing I do think, I do believe, I mean, this is my honest opinion. If you did more frequent ones, more people would be like, you know what, I'm going to that one. You know what, I'm going to that one. And more people would kind of like catch on because the energy starts to move, like that's how the convoy worked. When that convoy was going, there was a few people, then there was more, and then there was more. And then when I went to the motherfucker, more people were coming. Then 3 other convoys shut down and they all joined one convoy. Like it just spread like a wildfire. It was like the dopest thing ever. And that just shows you how energy in the moment, it keeps going. But also you got to know that energy does go down. So you do got to fall back because it will lose. It loses its energy. And that's what these people do to us all the time. That's why they do shit in waves and they back off and they come with another thing and then they back off and they come with another thing because they know how to move the energy to keep people in a certain state. So, these are things that I've noticed from being out in the field, and how they become so effective is, remember the George Floyd, they went hard and they stopped and then they went hard and they stopped. I mean, this is just how they do it, because if they keep it going, it gets weaker. It starts to fall off. And you've seen that with those protests. They started getting weaker. People started not to really pay attention and care no more, so they back off. So it's just ways to do it. And I do believe that the energy that you bring is powerful. Other people notice it. They won't admit it. I'm talking about other platforms. They notice it, but they'll never admit it.
That's what's annoying. I mean, it's obvious that Mark Passio and Jay Parker were talking about me the day after we were out there, because they're talking about how they need to educate more people to be public speakers, to get out. Because he's like, there's some people that are out there doing it, even though they don't do it at a very good level. It's like, shut the fuck up. I know Mark Passio's always talking about me.
I did get that, because I started all of a sudden getting alerts from Mark Passio when you were out there, and I'm like, oh, he's talking about Zach. I saw that. Yeah, I did see that.
Yeah, and he's always he talks about, and it's just annoying. Like, you listen to his show and he takes callers. Like, everyone will call in about Gematria and just like plays it down. Yeah, Gematria. That guy just pisses me the fuck off. He talks such a big game, but then what's he out there doing?
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. Nobody's doing. It turns into a life.
No. He's probably watching right now. Mark Passio, I'll fly out to Philadelphia. Let's see who engages more people. Seriously, Mr. Big Game. Be the true media, and he has a fucking audio fuck up in every show, and then he's like, it's the poor software. It's like, well, figure out something else that fucking works, moron.
So, but yeah, that's my 2 cents about this whole thing. Is people just got to realize, I mean, when? When? You're gonna wait for, others to come together first. You got to start somewhere. It's already somebody doing it. So just try to aim and shoot and try it. I mean, August 24th and then September 11th. I mean, that's literally going to be here before, I mean, look, it's May 1st. So you figure May, June, July, basically 3 months, and we're back into the fall again. People are waiting for the summer, but not realizing in three months, guess what? It's fall again. So it's like, what are you waiting for? Time's flying. So
that's the end of summer.
And another thing is, people got to understand is, you can't explain to them, what happens when you gather and we come together. It's something you can't explain. It's only something that you could witness. A camera can't show it. The energy, the things that happen, the synchronicities, the shit that just makes you go, wow, like how is that even possible? You can't explain it into words. It's an experience that once you do it, you realize how powerful that shit truly is, So
yeah, again, for all the people who've never come out, it is really nice to connect with people who are like-minded and have conversations and feel like you're not alone, and just, bounce ideas off of each other. It's what has to happen. And again, like I always say, I don't need to be there to do it. I mean, there's a million ways to find out who's awake in your area and who you can connect with and start doing similar things. And that's what's going to have to happen. I mean, again, I keep making the point, if on Super Bowl, or not Super Bowl Sunday, but just NFL Sundays, everybody's out in front of every stadium where a game's going on and connecting their community, engaging with those fans, seeds are going to be planted, things are going to change. And it's going to have to take that kind of teamwork and persistence to make anything change. And sports stadiums are the place, because that's where everyone's gathering at.
Yeah, I agree. And there's a lot of energy that's running through there. And
yeah,
a lot of energy. And hey, that might be the key, is they extended all their energy, and now when they come out, hell, maybe a barrier is broken where you might reach a couple fucking people. You know what I mean?
Yeah, those Clipper fans coming out with their heads hanging low. We're hearing what I was saying about, I mean, seriously, you guys, Kawhi, they're not going to play him in either game after he just dominated the last game. I mean, does it seem?
It's a joke, man.
They're all like, yeah, what is up with that?
Yeah. It's all, man, it's crazy. Yeah, one off the subject. What do you think about this? You think the number 6 for Bill Russell every fucking where? It's literally everywhere. They got
Look at fucking LeBron. They always compare LeBron to Bill Russell. He's got a 6 on his front, a 6 on his back, a 6 right here.
So my thing is, I feel like that's who's gonna be the the champion this year.
Look at this. I'm gonna put up this old LeBron Bill Russell ESPN thing.
it's too much of this number 6, and it just seems like they're just forming it all around a big ass ritual with LeBron.
Look, this is right here. LeBron was the first player to go to 6 straight finals since '66 when Bill Russell did it.
Oh damn. So yeah, I mean, I see the 6. Every jersey, every coach has. If they don't have it on, they have a pin. It's on the basketball courts. I mean, the shit is everywhere. So I'm like, that's for LeBron.
LeBron did that against the Raptors too. That thing back when he was on the Cavs, just like how Kobe had his 81-point game against the Raptors in his 666th career game.
So
yeah. It's just funny looking at the shit too, because if you write out number of the beast, it equals 87. So does James. The Raptors go down with 87, and then he wins 4-2 like the beast rules for 42 months, and LeBron James equals 42. It's just, you still got jokes for days, man.
yeah, it's crazy, man. We in one of the best times in history, also the worst at the same time.
I'll tell you what, if the Lakers in the fucking finals, I'm going down there before even Kobe Bryant Day.
Well, there's a good possibility they're going to be in the finals, so it's a good. That's number 6 is just, it's crazy, you know.
Mm-hmm.
It's signifying something. I mean, when have they ever did some shit like that? You know what I mean?
Yeah. King Charles coronation, 5-6. Lakers' first home game in the next series.
Yeah. So that's about. I mean, I just wish more people would just get out, man. When you hit the road or whatever, and you know, just people just need to say, fuck it, I'm going, you know. There's too many people, man, in the chat, I mean, there's a lot of people. It's just like, where they at? And then a lot of people that end up coming out, they're not in the chat. It's the craziest shit I've ever seen. The same thing happened out there, didn't it?
Yeah, a lot of people don't participate in the chat. They just watch the videos. So, and they're in the chat for the same reason you're always ranting about the chat.
Yeah, I've been watching, but I've been chatting. Just come say peace, and then I really, you know, I kind of stay out because, you know, I mean, it's just, you know, sometimes it takes away from the message, the chat. And chat, is anybody fucking listening, you know? And shout out to all the people that, you know, I'm not talking about everybody, but, you know, there's just some people that ask.
Sure, just like almost anytime I finally put my eyes on the chat, it's like a conversation going on about flat Earth. I'm like, why the fuck is there always a conversation about flat Earth?
Yeah, it'd be some conversation about just the weirdest shit. So, you know, but yeah, man, that's you know, I'm not really on a rant because it's 11:30 over here, so my rant's come in the morning. You know, I come swinging the sword. I'll probably swing it in the morning. So.
All right, man. Well, thanks for coming on and saying your piece. And yeah, I mean, there just has to be way more action. If there's never any action, we're not going to get any results.
Yeah, just this internet shit. It's over, man. Look, I mean, we're caught. I've been in a loop for a long time. Nobody's seeing my shit, but you're caught in a loop, and it's like, okay, some new people will get over here, but we're becoming crabs in a barrel. You know, I mean, it's just we're talking to each other. And that's how they cornered us off, you know. They cornered us to just speak to each other. Yeah, there's other people that know, but it's not a reach where shit's gonna go viral, you know.
It's impossible now. I mean, they've killed it. There's like no chance to have a viral video if you're talking about the things we're talking about these days.
Yeah, I mean, you do catch some. I do notice when there's a sports shit goes on and you go live. You know, there'll be 1,000.
DeMar Hamlin, the last thing anybody cared about.
Yeah. So they start, you know, trickling in. I don't know how it busts the algorithm somehow, but you know, the internet shit is dead for us, you know. It really is. That's why we got to get off here. And
have you seen those big tech campuses?
When you were showing them, yeah, that shit is wild crazy, man.
I didn't realize that's what they look like until I got there.
I'm not surprised. I mean, it looks like some shit from a dystopian movie, you know?
Especially the Facebook one. The Facebook one's like a giant fortress.
Yeah, and it's like the energy just looked on the screen like it felt dead, you know, like soulless people, mindless fucking people.
Coming out with their masks on.
Yeah. Yeah, and I agree. I'm seeing double masks again. I don't know what the fuck's going on. I mean, didn't Biden sign say COVID's over? I mean, it's crazy. I mean,
I was just in Portland and everybody has their fucking mask on. I was like, oh my God.
yeah, I don't know what's going on. Even here, I'm seeing the doubles. I'm seeing people getting in the car alone by themselves with the shit on. It's really I mean, we're literally living in a psych ward. You know, we're living in a giant fucking institution, man. I
I think
mean,
I'm gonna try. I was just even in the Tri Cities out here, which is different population, and tons of people had their mask on. I think I'm just gonna go out on a busy corner and get the speaker out and ask people why they're wearing that fucking slave muzzle.
yeah, that'd be great. You know, I mean, it's just mind blowing, man. What they've done to society is shut people's brains and cognitive function completely off, man. It's like I always rant. They have literally shut off people's fight and flight response in their body. Like no one would know danger was coming if it was literally already hurt them, you know. I mean, it's literally like we still function and know something's going on, but even in this truth, I mean, what is it going to take for people to realize that it's getting to the point where, you know, I mean, they already went way too far, but I mean, how far are you going to let them get? You know, before you realize, you know what, we got to come together and, you know, network, man. And, you know, it's something.
Indeed, indeed.
And internet is just ain't the way, you know, it's just not. You know, people think, oh yeah, you should. I see people drop a comment. You should collab with this guy and that guy for what? They ain't gonna do nothing. What? They're gonna
The
make
way to
some
think
good.
about the internet is like, seriously, okay, we know that the internet came from the military. We know that all these big tech things are essentially military fed. It's like they've created this battleground that we can't win on. It's like you're going to lose on. It's like they made that battleground for. So that's why we can't win here. They control it. They control what goes viral. They can delete all your shit in a second. So yeah, again, that's the reason we got to get outside and engage with people in the flesh. And for all the people who are so afraid, I should be proving to you why there's no real reason to be afraid. I'm going out there and I'm doing it. I'm living to tell the tale. All you guys who are worried like the feds are going to come knock you off, they would have knocked me off, man. I've been sleeping at restaurants and on the streets of LA, just in my car. I mean, I've been making it easy to take me out, and here I am still to tell the tale. So again, you just got to get over the fear and get out there and help get out the message.
Here's the thing: if you ain't doing shit, you got nothing to worry about. I mean, they see them taking the Trumpers out. Well, they target individuals. All people got to do is go read over the 200 something indictments from the government on who they got for that January 6th shit. Read the indictments, what they were doing, like the ones that they got. I mean, we know it's a honeypot, but there was probably 500,000 people there. They got 200. Well, they were watching a lot of people. There's a lot of these people were, you know, they were doing, you know, they were targeted because of things that they were doing, saying, and you know, if you ain't doing shit, what you worried about? You know, they know there's going to be a pile of people that aren't going along with the program, but that's okay because you know it's not a threat now, you know. It ain't a threat. People say, oh, we're a threat. You're a threat. You're this. You're that. You know, people tell me, oh man, I'm gonna do this to you, that. To you. For what? What am I doing wrong? I'm not threatening anything. I'm not. You know, what are we doing? We're just. I mean, we got to get over that shit. They do it. They're doing the shit. I mean, it is what it is. You know, I mean, it's getting worse. I mean, they're starting to arm these rainbow people, man. They're starting to pitch guns to them. You know.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's crazy. I mean, they're moving. Texas. Texas. It was a Mexican Honduran. That's all down there that they were bringing in the border. So it's obviously what they're for, whether they're really sacrificing them or they're aging because nosy people and they're paying off to do that. Hey, the state of America, one other. But these people clearly using people to do this. They were not Mexican. One thing about Mexicans, if something happened to Texas, they their families are thousands deep. They're all gonna come. What happened? What's going on? You know, that's one thing about realize all that live there know each other. They're cousins of cousins of just great. They all know. You know, I lived in the valley literally, and they all told me there's over 3 million people that live in the valley. Everybody knows everybody. So if something happens, they're all going to be converging there. Like, yo, what's going on? What happened? You know, would you see nobody there? Hey, you already know what time it is. So it's going to be more. You'll see more involving Mexicans and Honduras and people from Guatemala and all that shit. You know, so people better be paying attention, man. That's why I say they can get the fuck off the internet, man. You know, narrow their favorite truthers down to a couple and start going outside and say, holy shit, they're doing this shit around in my neighborhood, you know, because I see what's going on in my neighborhood, from the Rainbow Club to the deliberate demoralization and deterioration of the city, the inner cities, the suburbs, the suburb, everywhere around is just it's wild crazy, you know. Crime is legal. The cops can't do anything. You know, I talk to officers. They're like, we can't do anything. When a cop tells you he can watch somebody rob and steal out of a store and can't arrest them, that's a huge problem. And then that's another thing with all this stupid ass auditor shit. Like, I mean, it's not doing anything, you know. And it's good to see, you know, the auditing communities beefing with each other because, hey, that shit's old and dead now. You know what I mean? It's going to eat its own self because, you know, they're a bunch of, you know, most of them are asleep at the wheel too. But what do? They think they're creating change and standing up for fucking rights and just doing dumb shit, antagonizing police. There are good auditors, but most of it is for the same shit: clicks, likes, fame, money, and you know, not the real problems. So a lot of shit going on out here, man. People need to get their heads out of their ass. You know,
Indeed.
so, you know, I could rant for days about the stupid internet shit because it's been stupid for a long time. So, yeah. But, all right, Zach, I know you know, it's getting late. So if you want to close it out or whatever, all I got to say is, man, people need to get their heads out their ass. You know, I feel like you. I'll leave me with this. You already know what my plan A is. I'm just in plan B right now, you know, and
Sure.
get to a safe place and weather the storm, you know, and get out of the way. But we all know it's some shit coming to this nation, whatever you want to, this corporation has a lot of karma to pay back. And what do you think these sorcerers and magicians that do rituals on us every day do? They're directing that energy towards us. They're going to be all right. That's why we need to get our heads out of their ass. People think that, oh, the elites are going to be taken out. I see the stupid QAnon shit where they're talking about they got these fucking barges in Guantanamo Bay and they're bringing the elites there. Listen, y'all can believe that shit if you want to.
Isn't it crazy, man? It's just, God, it's just like people just have to have these delusions.
Yeah, it's crazy. If y'all think that, hey, more power to you. But this nation, I mean, this corporation has a lot of karma to pay back for what its people let its government do across the entire fucking planet. You know, it's got a lot of payback, you know, so people better wake up fast, man. You know, it's all in front of our faces. I don't ignore it, you know. So I feel you on that. You know, you're gonna do these last runs, and if you don't see what you know, your heart see, you know, you got to go the other way and say, you know what, you guys can have this shit. Figure it out.
Well, again, I mean, support is down by a third from before I left for Oklahoma City last year. And I wouldn't have imagined that I'd lose a ton of support. I would have thought we'd grown based on what we've done in the last year.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah,
Yep.
it's annoying. So,
yeah, man, people, you know what? A lot of people, you know, they threw in a towel, man. You know, I mean, there's times I'd be wanting to not throw in the towel, but you know what, man, because internet is like, it's like, you know what? need to focus more on, because we could see the train. The ship is burning. The train's going off the track. The ship's sinking. Whatever you want to call it. Hell in the hell of handbag and going to hell. We can all see it, and at some point, we gotta say, you know what? It might be a lost hope. And for the ones that have been doing this and know and understand, we know that we're not going to be the frontliners who just woke up and then are super angry and going to really do some shit, because there's levels of this. We've been doing this a long time, but there's people that woke up yesterday that's realizing all this shit. They're angry. I see it in my own community. They're like, dude, how the fuck you didn't know this was going on in the schools? They're ready to, like, I'm talking like, kamikaze style. I mean, this shit's going to really start getting bad because bubbles are getting popped, which I like. I enjoy. I tell all the people, like, look, I hope this shit keep going on in schools, because guess what? You guys are waking up. I mean, I've had my kids out of school for years because I knew what they were going to do, and people still want to keep their kids in there. I want this shit to keep going. Gas prices, raise them up higher. I don't care about. I want this whole shit to. I don't want this shit to keep going. You know how I am, Zach. It needs to come down, and when it comes down, people wake up. So hey, keep it going. And that I'll leave it with that, man. But I'm always hope. I always got a perfect balance. I say, hey, I hope for the, I pray for the worst and hope for the best. I do the opposite. So
Indeed. Yeah,
right.
that's not a bad outlook. So
I appreciate it, Zach. Shout out to everybody, and much love, and I'll talk to y'all later.
All right, have a good night, man. Thank you for coming on. Appreciate it.
All right. Yep.
Later. Okay. DK Stone wasn't trying to call in. DK, feel free to call back. And Truth Does Not Exist came back in the room. What's up, Truth Does Not Exist? I want to wrap it up, but you got another thought, apparently.
Oh, yeah, I remembered what I wanted to say. So these games, they're not energy harvest, they're energy generation, like they're programming people. They already have the outcome for the game, they already know who's going to lose. They already know who's going to be feeling bad. And they know that when they program people with that energy, it's like, because they just do that over and over again. The people are going to come back. They're going to come to the next game, and they just keep doing that over and over and over and controlling people's emotions. It's like an equation, they're getting everybody's mind in sync. They know that when those people go home, they're going to spread that energy to the people around them. When they go to work the next day, they're going to be spreading that energy around them. So like there's this duality that they have, one people feeling good, oh man, my team won, the other people, oh, my team lost. They have those people fighting with each other. They're both thinking what they want them to think. Everybody's thinking that stuff. Everybody's being affected by it. That's what they do. They're like creating almost like a harmony. Just making everybody think the same thing. It's part of the mind control. And that's probably why these people are so asleep, because they're the most mind controlled. They go to these games and just like after all this time, they've just been like, they're completely in sync with whatever they're fed, the information that they're fed. They're programmed for it. They're like programmed to accept what they're given. And like, and it's like that with a lot of groups. And I think that it would be great if we went to these Trump rallies. And like some of those people, it's like, I mean, the QAnon people are just fucking stupid. Those people are retarded, mentally ill, whatever way you want to put it. And like I've seen people that have like woken up from that, and they've come here, and it's like, I mean, they're just as deranged as before, except they just don't buy into the QAnon. But it's like those people are somewhat, they see somewhat like where the world's going, like the Republicans. But they still believe in the Orange Oompa Loompa. They still believe that voting is going to change something. They still think that talking to your senator is going to change something. It's not going to do that. We need to get rid of it. And one of the ways that they control people, like anybody that thinks you're going to get like profile coming out, dude, you're fucking watching the video. You don't think that they already have a list of everybody watching this video? You know, you think that if you show like your you know, you think that if you call in, or oh, if I sign up to the Patreon and connect my credit card to it, oh, they're gonna know who I. It's like, dude, they already fucking know who you are. You know, they already have it in a list. They already have it in the database. That's it. You're done. If you know, support on Patreon, whatever, that's not gonna expose you. They already know. You know, you can't hide from their surveillance
Well,
state.
they literally are like keeping tabs on everything you do on the internet, and what your social profile is and what kind of information you are. And yeah, they are creating categories of people. I mean,
Yeah,
so
exactly.
yeah, that's the society we live in. So being afraid of those things, there was a guy who came out to Palo Alto. He said his dad works in big tech, and probably does because it's big tech country. But he didn't want us. He didn't want us to say certain things involving him. He didn't want to talk about certain things. He made a point not to say certain things with the phones around because he pointed out the phones are always listening. I mean, that's probably
Yeah.
true, but it's just like, I mean, it's annoying, but that's the world we live in right now. It's just, I mean,
Yeah.
I
Well,
feel
I
like,
mean,
go
yeah,
ahead.
you were saying.
I'm just saying, I mean, just like, yeah, we live in a giant surveillance state. That's what it is. And it's not going to change unless we do something about it. I mean, we're just going to live in fear and censor ourselves all the time. Essentially, we're doing exactly what they want. So,
Well, yeah, and I mean, I try and like keep myself secure. I mean, right now my fucking phone's almost blew up and it's fucking broken for however many days. But um, you know, I've been looking into like getting a phone with a custom operating system, maybe even like a hardware switch on the microphone. Because I mean, I don't like being listened to. It's just, you know, it's like having your doors unlocked. You know, it's like opening your window when I'm showering. It's like, do I want everybody to come and see that? Like, you know, but you know, yeah, we can definitely take steps to like defend our privacy. But like, yeah, that's not really what I'm saying. Like I think you know who the kind of people I'm talking about are, that they're like, oh well, you know, I don't want to send you an email because then they're gonna track that I sent. It's like, dude, they already know that you're gonna send. You know, obviously there's certain things you don't say on the phone, or certain things you wouldn't say with a phone listening to you. I mean, I do that shit all the
sure.
time. But like, people being scared they're gonna be put in a database, dude, they already fucking know. You. There's no going back. You know, if you put your credit card on the on to pay on Patreon, they already fucking know who you are. It doesn't matter whether you do that or not. They say, oh, look at how many hours this guy watches um Zach's videos every week. Oh, look at what channels he's subscribed to. You know, oh, look at what kind of videos he clicks on. Oh, look at what websites he was going to. You know, it's like they already fucking know. You know, um, and yeah, I was saying before about the Trump people. You know, they see what's wrong with the world a little bit, and they're brainwashed. They think that, you know, they think that they can use the system to change the system, and the thing is that that's never going to happen, because the system was designed by the people who are ruling over us. They designed it this way to for us to not be in power, you know, for them to hold the power, so we can't play their game. You know, we can use the tools that they've created. You know, like we're using big tech right now. We have, you know, we live in a modern society where, you know, this isn't like back in the Stone Age where, you know, you had to have a club and a sword, and it's like you could only really do so much with those tools. It's like nowadays, I mean, like, you know, look online, like there's so many things that you can do, you know, and I'm sure you guys know what I'm talking about. I can't say it on YouTube, but you know, it's like it's become so much easier with the modern tools that they've created, but it's like people don't think about that. It's like we have all these tools that we could get rid of them. We just don't have enough people, but yet people want to use the system. It's like that's not going to work. You know, and I think that we could reach these people because we could tell them like, look, you know, because there's you can point to it in the past, you know. The government never defends us or helps us or protects us in any way. You know, and people are like, oh well, crime's gonna go up. It's like, yeah, well look, they don't allow criminals, they don't convict them. You know, the only people that go to jail now are people that defend themselves about from criminals. It's like if you defend your store from someone robbing it nowadays, I'm sure that um that, yeah, right, the Matrix probably knows about it. That's like, if you defend yourself from the person robbing your store, then guess who's going to be there to stop you? Is it going to be the other criminals? Nope, it's going to be the government that's going to tell you, oh, you can't defend yourself against these criminals, you know? And like, that's what it's become. Like, they're fucking creating the crime. Look, the homelessness situation. They've created the homelessness situation, you know? They've created all the problems, you know? I mean, like, I always think about it, like, every day, like, you know, I see all this technology and it's like, you know, our world could be perfect, you know? I mean, yeah, there's little problems and stuff, but like, nobody would ever have to worry about money. There's enough food in the world. There's so much wasted food in this country and in a couple of other, you know, countries. It's like they really can't feed people in Africa. They really can't feed people in, you know, poor nations. It's like, are you fucking stupid? It's like, look at how much food the restaurants throw away, how much food stores throw away, people throw away. People only have like half of the food that they're given, you know? And like, even the farmers, like, they throw away like giant truckfuls of food, you know, like truckfuls and truckfuls of food. And it's like, you know, we can't feed everybody, you know, we don't have water for everybody. We have weather control. We can desalinate water. We can get water from the ground. All this stuff we couldn't do back in the past. You know, we have all this technology. We can ship things everywhere. You know, everybody can live comfortably. We have so much technology everywhere. We've had computers for over 50 years, and now everybody has access to them. Basically, we've made like, I think like a billion phones are manufactured every year. You know, and like, who knows? God knows how many Chromebooks, and like, you know, other computers and stuff. And it's like, our world could just be perfect and not have any problems. We wouldn't have to worry about anything. But it's like, you know, of course we have war, we have all this stuff because they create it. You know, every problem that we have traces back to what they've created. And I think, you know, that maybe we could wake people up to that. And I hope that people do realize that one day, that, you know, they basically ruined our world. I mean, even think about like 5 years ago. It's like before the whole COVID thing. And it's like, you know, life was better back then. And people, you know, obviously it wasn't great, but it was better than it is now, you know, somewhat. And like, you could have like a pretty normal life. Everything wasn't so expensive. And, you know, things were going all right. But yeah, I mean, it's just,
Ladies calling. I better wrap it up. But
okay.
yeah, indeed. Again, anybody
And
who's been alive for the last, you know, 100 years has watched the decline of humanity and the ruling class get more power and control and wealth while everybody else has less. And that's what people need to see, the trajectory of society, the ruling class gaining power and control over the masses while the rest of us lose. So anyway, appreciate you, buddy.
all right,
Thanks
yeah,
for coming
thanks.
back on.
If everybody could give me a sub, I've been trying to get to 2K, and it's like, and it gets like, goes up 10 and then it goes back down. Like, it keeps fucking doing that. YouTube
That's
keeps
what they do. Yeah, they've
yeah.
decided that's where your level is. You get to be that many subs. Yeah, that's annoying how they do that.
But yeah, oh, see, look, it went fucking back down to 1.89. It keeps going like up to 1.91, and it keeps going back down again. Up
Yeah,
and
that's
like
what
that.
they do. That's what they do.
And if you guys think that you're subscribed to me, look me up and see if you actually are. Because every time I say that, I get like a bunch more subscribers from people that got unsubscribed. So yeah, if everybody could drop a sub, I appreciate it. I made a new video a couple days ago, and I'm gonna be making another one this week. I'm starting to get back on my schedule, but yeah, I won't stay on here. I said what I wanted to say, and yeah, good luck to you, and yeah, see you, truth seekers.
All right, later, buddy. Have a good night.
Later. Good night.
All right, and I'll let DK Stonewood get in his word because he's been trying to call in, but I was waiting for other people to get off before I answered his call. Here, let me call him back. DK Stonewood came out in LA. What's up, DK?
Hey, Zach.
Yeah, what's going on?
I had a couple comments. what Right was saying, but now I can't even remember really. I can just remember he was saying that about things going viral, like how the convoy, but that the reason that happened was because that was a psyop. If he tried to do that,
Yeah, it was a psyop. It was all by the numbers.
yeah. So that's why we can't get something to go viral like that. But my main thing I just wanted to say was I think we have another Gabby Petito. That guy, the guy with the gun legislation bill, Strom Peterson.
Right.
So Peter, like penis or whatever, Peterson. So then Strom, like strumming a guitar. So like Strom Peterson is literally just another like when Bart Simpson say, I want a Mr. Hoff, Jack Hoff, it's like literally the same thing.
Sure.
So,
Always with the dick jokes.
Yeah, these jokes, exactly. Other than that, I don't know. I think I see it's been already like 2-3 hours, so I think I'm just gonna end it there. I don't want to hold you up any longer tonight because I could talk forever.
Okay. How do you think we get more people to come out to LA for August 24th?
You know what? I was disappointed at the people that came were all good, solid people, but the actual number was, it just makes no sense for.
I think it'll be better on 8/24 because it's several months in advance for one certain date. I think that'll help.
Oh yeah, by the way, before I forget, look at my last text messages to you, and then give me an answer on that. We're trying to prepare something for 24th. I need some info from you.
Okay, I'll check that out. Yeah, I didn't see it.
Yeah, I don't even know. Other than appealing to these other channels, which are frauds, they're not going to come. I don't know what else you can do as far as appealing to regular people. Maybe just everybody who's in LA. I'm sure you're going to be making some videos a week before or whatever regarding it. So, people can share it all on their social media, like, hey, come on out or whatever. Like, create one of those things like, we're interested in going, one of those things too, like create an event for it on all the platforms and stuff like that. I'm just trying to think of anything because, other than physically getting out there, I don't know what else you could possibly do, your whole audience already obviously knows, not to mention it's an echo chamber anyways. I'm not really necessarily going to any of these events.
Do you know any other big YouTubers in the LA area?
Do I know any big YouTubers in the LA area?
Uh-huh.
Not really. I'd say the biggest channel, like a number of followers, is probably Fullerton Informer that I know personally. These other people that I've talked to, sometimes I've even jumped on a live with them, like on Facebook. But it's been a while. But I think a few of them are frauds. I can't even remember what's the one guy's name, and this is like in the ET UFO genre. So I don't know, if that would be any help at all. I think the best bet type of people that would be how would you say, that would be like that this work would seem like it would be something that's like down their alley would be, the people like the, what you would call like freedom fighters, but people who are pissed off about losing their freedoms and stuff like that. I think those First Amendment auditors, most of that stuff is controlled opposition, like not just the whole genre of it being controlled opposition, but the actual individuals in it, are literally whatever money they make on that, okay, but they're subsidized on the back end too, just to keep pushing that, that's like something we should be doing to achieve freedom. What freedom have we achieved doing that? It doesn't really. So it's like insignificant. We need to be storming the Bastille, not trying to mess with people inside of some rural post office. You know what I mean? That's just not going to do anything. be in the main city centers that you're hitting. And I don't know, what else to, how to try to like advertise it or whatever other than just getting out there. There's no shortage of people, that's for sure. Yes, you can see, you post up in one spot and you get, a few hours there, you're going to get at least 1,000 people an hour, if not more, passing by you. So it's like, Santa Monica Pier, it's probably like, 1,000 people an hour, if not more.
Oh, it's more than that. It's definitely more than that.
More than that, yeah. And then the stadium, that holds 13,000. So, maybe all 13,000 don't pass right by, but at least 10,000 do.
The Lakers stadium only holds 13,000?
I think so, if I'm not mistaken.
It's got to be bigger than that. The Blazers stadium holds more than that.
Check it right now. It's got to be some occult number. I think it's 13,101 or something like that.
Really?
Something
That's
like
small
that.
if it's true.
Are they pardoning? Are they going to pardon like 200 people for this January 6th insurrection thing to, like, give homage to the Catherine the Great, 200 Jesuits as well, or what?
It remains to be seen, but yeah, it's probably not a surprise. The online says that Crypto.com Arena holds 20,000, which sounds more about right. Usually those basketball stadiums are around 20,000.
Oh, is it 20? Okay. Maybe it was the Forum that was 13,000. For some reason, I had that in my head.
Yeah, that might be because they made a bigger stadium.
All they didn't change that. I've been to Staples probably, I got to say, at least between 25 and 50 games. We used to get tickets all the time from my friend who had season tickets, and then we'd scalp at the game and just basically end up going all a bunch of games for free. He had, for like 40 or so games, he would go to 5 or 6, and then, sometimes he would give them for free. But so, yeah, there's a lot of people. It's not a small stadium. It's not nothing like Coliseum, but it's still, I think the Coliseum's like 110,000 or whatever. It's just crazy. Yeah, that's about it. I guess if I have anything pertinent to say, I'll wait for GFR on Wednesday.
All right. Appreciate it, DK.
And then, like I said, get back to me on that text message.
All right. Yeah, I'll check that out. All right. Thanks, man.
Okay. Have a good night.
Yeah, take care. Okay. Deep Zone says a comedian was in the chat and somebody deleted the comedian's comments. I hope that's not true. Make sure we're not censoring good people. So anyhow, thank you to everyone who hit the like and the share. The stream ended up getting long in the tooth, but it was nice to get different people's voices and opinions on here. And again, we'll see what they got for us tomorrow. Tomorrow is the 247th anniversary of the establishment of the Illuminati. We talked about why they're bringing out the new Kobe 4 shoe tomorrow in a clear Illuminati tribute. So yeah, we'll be back tomorrow. And again, you guys, if you've never supported the work, you can always start supporting tonight. Help get my numbers up for April, because I do got a sweet lady over here, and she does worry when I go out. And right now, she just doesn't see any logical reason for me to continue going out and doing what I've been doing, because she says all it does is just bring the support down. And it takes a lot of time, energy, effort, money. And, but like I always tell her, but it's good because the people who come out, they connect, that needs to happen. We engage with people, we plant seeds. But yeah, it just sucks that the online community doesn't really seem to care that much, and it doesn't make them want to support. And maybe it does speak something to the online community who just likes doing things online and being online. And as long as we're online, you guys, we're never going to change anything. We can spread information here, but we can't really achieve anything online. And again, when we're online, it's that much easier to suppress the message. So we got to get out. We got to connect. We got to be human beings. We got to be like pre-21st century people. And again, if you can make it out to LA August 24th, if we can get a big group there, different people on the mic speaking, putting out different information, can hopefully turn a lot more heads, plant more seeds, and start making the change that needs to happen in the world. So LA and New York to close out the summer. And if things just stay stagnant, if people fall off even more, again, you're just putting me in a tough spot because again, I mean, it's just like, even for myself, it's like, what is the point to continue to do this? I mean, I have spent 10 years nonstop every day doing this, and a lot, there should be a lot more to show than there is. So again, censorship's been a major problem. The fake truth community's been a major problem. And it's sad how many people can't see through the fake truth community. If you can't see that nearly everybody else that's on YouTube is a fake, you're not that awake. You're not. Because nearly everyone on this platform is a fake. They're not doing anything. They don't really stand for anything. They're here for the ad revenue and the t-shirt sales and whatever other shit they're selling, period. So there's nobody else that's really doing anything. There's nobody else that's putting out any real knowledge. There's a lot of people that like their opinions. There's people that like to listen to other people's opinions. But again, if you're talking about people that are actually doing things and putting out knowledge that you can actually use, again, you're pretty much at the one-stop shop. So here, I'll just put up this comment. Yuda's own. You ran away, people, with your grandiose ego. Again, is it a grandiose ego, or is it just like you can't handle the truth? Again, I mean, like, somebody has a grandiose ego if they're talking about things like they're way bigger in their own mind than what they've actually done. Again, let me know where I'm wrong. Have I not broken the code of the Illuminati? Have I not proven it every day for a decade? Have we not accurately forecasted the future from news to sports to elections? The answer to all those things are yes, 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 and yes. Again, that's a major accomplishment. Is there anyone else who's been hosting a platform to avoid the censorship and bring people together? Not that I know of. Is there anyone who's been giving away their work for free? Giving away stuff, pound and pavement, coast to coast? People like you sit in the comments and talk shit are fucking losers that represent why we're fucked. Okay? Your little itty bitty brain can't comprehend reality or appreciate greatness. So, anyway, we'll leave it there for now. Thank you to everyone who does support the work, and hopefully support climbs in May. And hopefully more people can find a reason to support the work other than just for sports picks. So, we'll leave it there for now. And until next time.